Chapter 3744. Stone gambling was not only popular in the true spirit world, but also in the entire heaven-punishing world. That was because these stones all contained treasures from the ancient era, or even the ancient era. If one could cut out one of them, one would be rich. There were also some young disciples who were following along. They were confused. If there was a treasure inside, why didn't the Fiend Palace open it themselves? Why did they have to take it out? Are you an idiot? If there was really a treasure inside, then it would be a profit. But if there was nothing inside, then wouldn't it be a huge loss? Their Fiend Palace was not stupid. They would definitely take it out for auction. At that time they would sell it for a sky-high price. Even if there was a treasure inside, they wouldn't suffer a loss. Indeed, the Fiend Palace's people also said that these were all rare treasures. Our Fiend Palace did not dare to casually open them. We hope that we can share them with everyone. Once those words were said, everyone knew that the auction was about to begin. An elder of the Fiend Palace walked out and said, "Everyone, we will now begin the auction. Our Fiend Palace will not leave a single one of these 10-odd items behind. There are a total of 13 items. I hope that everyone can bid on them in time, because if you miss them, then they will be gone. It took us a lot of effort to get this thing. Alright, let's not waste words. Let's begin." The first item to be auctioned was the size of a stool. It was square-shaped and very neat. All kinds of Tao patterns were carved on it, forming one strange pattern after another. The starting price was 1 million kilograms of divine crystals. Each increment could not be less than 100,000 kilograms. Of course, apart from divine crystals, there were also medicinal pills of equal value, all kinds of natural treasures, cultivation techniques, and saint artifacts. Once those words were said, the crowd went into an uproar. Some young disciples cried out in alarm. 1 million kilograms was the starting price. Heavens, these broken stones were so expensive. They were all stupefied. To be honest, in their opinion, these stones were only worth 100,000 kilograms. How could they have imagined that they would be so valuable? Lin Shen was also surprised. This auction was much more extravagant than when he was in the true spirit world. The auction started, but the price was not too high. Even the peak powers like Thunder God City only made a few bids before calmly observing the situation. They also wanted to see if there were any real treasures inside. Otherwise it would be too risky to rashly bid. After several bids, it was won by a second-tier clan. The final price was 250,000 kilograms of divine crystals. It was simply an astronomical figure. A member of the Mu clan walked out and handed over the divine crystals. The people of the Fiend Palace laughed. Would the Mu clan be open now? The head of the Mu family gritted his teeth and said, "Fine. This was a huge gamble." The others were also interested. Should they start now? He was really too excited. "I want to see what I can buy with these 250,000 kilograms of divine crystals." That's right, this was a sky-high price. The head of the Mu clan personally removed the Tao patterns on it and broke the seal. Gradually, the seal on the stone box was broken. It slowly opened, and a beam of light flew out from within. Illuminate the 9 heavens. It pierced through the clouds in the sky. Something is coming. Something is coming. Everyone was shocked. Even the experts took a deep breath. After the first ray of light, there was a second and third ray of light. Light filled the sky and dyed the sky golden. The clan leader of the Mu clan was shocked. He only hoped that he could go. In the next moment he cried out in surprise and then laughed out loud. "Haha, that's great." "What is that?" Everyone was shocked. Even the eyes of the experts of the sacred city burst out with a piercing cold light. However, they couldn't see through it at all. This was the mystery of stone gambling. Even if they were sages, they still couldn't see through what was inside. They could only wait for the head of the Mu clan to take it out himself. The head of the Mu clan tried hard to calm his mood. His hand was trembling a little. From inside he took out a golden wheel. That golden wheel was only the size of a fan. When placed on it, Tao patterns were all over it. It was unusually exquisite. At the same time, it also emitted an extremely strong aura. A sacred artifact. An expert of the older generation screamed, and his eyes turned red. After the others heard it, there was an uproar. What? It was actually a sacred artifact. They were also stunned. They didn't expect that the weapon inside was actually a sacred artifact. An elder of Thunder God City sucked in a breath of cold air. In his eyes, there was a terrifying flash of lightning. This was no ordinary sacred artifact. It was a mid-grade sacred artifact. A middle-grade sacred artifact? Isn't it too terrifying? At this moment, everyone was boiling. Their eyes were all red. Some people roared crazily. "Damn it, why? Why didn't I make a move? 2. 2 million was ridiculously high. But if it was a middle-grade sacred artifact, then it was really a big profit. The value of a middle-grade sacred artifact was at least 10 million gene of divine crystals, and it was still priceless. You couldn't buy it even if you wanted to. Lin Xian was also surprised. A middle-grade sacred artifact. He had once bought the materials of a sacred artifact. At that time it was only 50,000 gene, which shocked him greatly. Later he knew that although the materials were easy to buy, it was not easy to refine. That was because it took time to refine a saint artifact. For example, his black earth had used an endless amount of heavenly treasures. In addition, the starry sky fire and extremely terrifying flame had evolved. Therefore, refining a sacred artifact was not easy. The value of a sacred artifact was also very precious. Unless there were special circumstances, generally, no one would exchange a sacred artifact. It could be said that there was a price but no market. Lin Xian also had several sacred artifacts in his hands. Except for the black earth, which he had refined himself, the others were snatched from his enemies. But even so, he had killed so many saints and snatched so many storage rings and treasures. But the number of sacred artifacts in his hands did not exceed 5. One could imagine that sacred artifacts were still very precious. Not every saint had one. However, he still did not understand what a middle-grade sacred artifact was. Sacred artifacts were also divided into different grades. Generally, only a few saints had them. Firstly, the materials to refine a sacred artifact were very precious and required a long time to collect. Moreover, refining a sacred artifact was also very time-consuming. It also required a special flame. Therefore, in summary, refining a sacred artifact was very troublesome. Ordinary saints might not be able to cultivate it even if they wanted to. Therefore, they would not refine a sacred artifact. Instead, they would cultivate their own law weapons. That was to use their own laws to condense a weapon. They would cultivate it in their body. A law weapon did not consume materials. It only consumed time. The longer the time, the greater the power of a law weapon. Generally, if cultivated well, the power of a law weapon could be equivalent to a low-grade sacred artifact. It could be said to be very terrifying. Sacred artifacts were divided into 3 grades: high, medium, and low. The power of each grade of sacred artifact was different. Of course, it was also related to the user. And these sacred artifacts were collectively known as moon-rank divine artifacts. Moon-rank sacred artifact. Lin Xian was surprised. He had never heard of it. Chapter 3745. According to He Shan, if a saint wielded a saint weapon, he could destroy a moon-level planet with a full-force strike. It was called a moon-level saint weapon. Of course, this was only in theory. In the real world, there were many powerful families and sections. They could set up formations to prevent the attack of a saint weapon. Above moon level was sun level. A full-force strike could destroy a sun-level world, which was countless times bigger than a moon-level planet. Sun-level saint weapons were usually in the hands of saint kings and great sage. The great sage pagoda in your hand was at this level. Above that was sun-level saint weapons. A full-force strike would not be as simple as destroying 1 or 2 worlds. The whole starfield would be destroyed. This kind of saint weapon was even more powerful than the great sage weapon. It was usually a legendary saint weapon. It would be passed down in the hands of countless saints. It was second only to an extreme Dao weapon. If an extreme Dao weapon was fully recovered, the whole second astral realm would be destroyed with a single strike. Lin Xian was shocked after hearing this. He did not expect there to be so many grades of saint weapons. It seemed like they were very powerful even among moon-level saint weapons. Ordinary saints would be jealous when they saw them. The Mu family had opened such a saint weapon for 250,000 kilograms of divine crystals. It was definitely a shocking move. Sure enough, everyone's eyes turned red. The second box was sold at a sky-high price of 60,000 kilograms. Inside the second stone box was a pill. There was only one pill, but the aura emitted from it was too shocking. Some minor saints' eyes turned red. This pill had an inestimable value to them. The third box was as big as a wash basin. It was sold at a price of 70,000 kilograms of divine crystals. An elder of Thunder God City had won the bid. After the elder bid, he smiled and opened the box impatiently. But after opening it, he was dumbfounded. Damn it, how was this possible? The minor saint was so angry that thunder pierced through the sky. What happened? What was happening? The people of Thunder God City changed their expressions. The others were also puzzled. What could have enraged a little saint so much? There was nothing inside. A few people walked up and cried out in alarm. How could there be nothing? That was 70,000 caddies of divine crystals, and it was actually wasted. No wonder this little saint was so mad. Damn it. The people from Thunder God City also had ugly expressions on their faces. Lin Xian smiled. It seemed that the luck of some holy cities was really bad. It was probably because he had done too many bad things and wanted to accumulate more good karma in the future. Damn brat, you're pissing me off. The people of Thunder God City were so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. The other party was actually making such sarcastic remarks. Everyone please calm down. The Devil's Son walked out and said loudly. No one knew what was in this thing before it was opened. It could be a peerless divine artifact, or it could be an ordinary item, or it could be nothing at all. Since you want to gamble, you have to bear the consequences. I think everyone should be able to abide by this. The people of the Thunder God City coldly snorted and retreated. Their expressions were extremely unfriendly. From the looks of it, the atmosphere wasn't too good, so the people from Evil Demon City said that everyone should rest for a while and wait for everyone to drink some tea and eat some snacks before continuing. Soon, exquisite spiritual tea and spiritual wine were served. These people rested for a while. Everyone was discussing spiritedly. This time it was really an eye-opener. They actually opened a saint artifact. Yes, I wonder if it's possible to open an immortal divine herb. It's too difficult. That thing is too terrifying. However, it's also very good to open a saint herb. Then would it be possible to open a divine beast? Those people were very excited and had all kinds of guesses. At this moment, 5 boxes had already been opened. There were still 8 boxes that had not been opened. The next competition should be even more intense. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He felt that this was a chance and there might be something good inside. Therefore he also planned to try and get the next box. What if there was something good in it? At this time Hall Master Kuan walked over and sat beside Lin Xian. He began to transmit his voice. Young Master Lin, after our investigation, we've received some news. Tell me quickly. Lin Xian was surprised. Next, Hall Master Kuan began to tell him the news. Lin Xian was shocked after hearing it. Is it true? Hall Master Kuan nodded. This is a spy we planted in the Demon Palace. The news sent back is absolutely reliable. Hall Master Kuan sat for a while and then left. Lin Xian's face was gloomy. That was because the spy told him that the people who had been kidnapped from the Bewilderment Fog ship had been controlled by the Demon Palace and had gone to the Void Sea to search for treasures. These stone boxes were found by them. However, most of these stone boxes were in the depths of the Void Sea. Some were even in the fog of death. Therefore it was very difficult to find them. It was said that those people had all died. Not a single one of them had returned alive. This was not good news. Could it be that Ruffian Dragon and the Northern Devil had been forced to dig for treasures and died? He did not believe it. For a moment, Lin Xian lost interest in stone gambling. He was thinking about what had happened. Perhaps those 2 people had been forced to enter the Void Sea, but they had escaped midway. Soon the auction continued. Everyone fought over it. Some people opened treasures while others opened nothing. In the end, the 6 major powers fought until their eyes were red. The other families and sects had no chance to interfere. They could only watch from the side. However, although they could not obtain the treasures, it was worth it to be able to witness such a spectacle. After the 9th box was opened, there were 4 left. At this moment, the elder of the Fiend Palace pointed at a box that was relatively large and looked like a coffin. Next, we will auction this box. This box looks very large. There might be a lot of treasures inside. It might also be a relatively large object. In fact, we think that it might be the corpse of an ancient expert that was sealed in it. When he said that, the crowd was in an uproar. This was too unbelievable. Everyone had seen the first 9 boxes open. There were all kinds of treasures in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Of course, it was also possible that there was nothing inside. Out of the 9 boxes, 3 of them were empty, which made people sigh. Lin Xian glanced at it without the slightest interest. However, in the next moment he was stunned. Wait a minute. He stared at the box and his eyes shone with a golden light. Kid, what did you find? He Shan asked secretly. When the others saw this scene, they were also surprised. Then the people of the Myriad Demon City sneered. Reckless kid, do you still want to use your eye technique to look? Are you joking? You can't see through this thing. That's right. Even our senior brother can't see through it, let alone you. Those people sneered. The others also shook their heads. The people of the Thunder God City sneered. So what if you got one of the top spots? With your wealth, you can't even afford a single treasure box. Lin Xian ignored these people's provocation. He quickly transmitted his voice to He Shan. I can sense Ruffian Long's aura on this treasure box. Heishan was stunned. He also used his soul to check it. In the next moment he was also surprised. Chapter 3746. It does have the aura of that dragon. But it's very faint. If it weren't for your powerful eye technique, you wouldn't be able to see it. It seems that this stone box has something to do with that dragon. Perhaps he was the one who dug it out. Since it has something to do with the dragon, I have to get it no matter what. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a cold light. This might be a clue to finding the dark red divine dragon. The others also stared at the stone box. Among them, the people from the demon city frowned. Have you noticed that the aura on this stone box is very unusual? It even makes me feel a little scared. The person who spoke was a little saint. Shui Yu and the others were shocked when they heard that. Even the 100-eyed demon saint was stunned. The hundreds of eyes on his body shone at the same time, trying to see what was going on. There is indeed a mysterious aura which seems to be the aura of the demon race. It seems that what is buried in this box must be related to the demon race. Therefore we have to get this treasure box. The eyes of the 7 experts of the Golden Crow race shone brightly. I can feel the powerful bloodline aura. We have to get this treasure box. The people of the Thunder God City, the Silver Palace, and the mysterious woman in emerald green were all surprised. Soon the auction for the 10th treasure box began. 5 million caddies of divine crystals. The people of the Demon City were the first to bid. Obviously they were determined to get it. 55 million caddies. The people of the Thunder God City bid. 6 million caddies. An expert of the Golden Crow race said. He was also very confident. 8 million caddies. Another voice sounded, causing the crowd to exclaim. Who is this? How can he increase the price by 2 million caddies? Some of the powerful families rolled their eyes. Isn't this too unruly? Even the experts of the Demon City and the Golden Crow race turned their heads to look at the source of the voice. The next moment they were stunned. It's him? They found that the person who bid was Lin Xian. The people of the Thunder God City were also stunned. Before this they had mocked Lin Xian, saying that he couldn't afford any of the treasure boxes. But now they were slapped in the face in the blink of an eye. Lin Xian directly offered 8 million caddies of divine crystals, which was enough to buy any treasure box before. Damn it, how is this possible? How could this kid have so many divine crystals? The people of Thunder God City gnashed their teeth in disbelief. Lin Xian did not care at all. He must obtain this treasure box. 5 million caddies, said someone from the Demon City. 9 million. An expert of the Golden Crow technique made a bid. Lin Xian bid 10 million caddies. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Was it already 10 million Jin? This had already exceeded the price of any treasure box. At the same time, they were puzzled as to why Lin Xian hadn't bid earlier. However, he was determined to obtain this treasure box. Could it be that there was a reason that no one knew about? The people from the Demon City looked gloomy. Damn it, what was wrong with this kid? Why must he snatch this thing? Could it be that he had discovered something? Their faces darkened. The experts from the Golden Crow tribe also stared at Lin Xian with unfriendly expressions. No matter what the other party discovered, this treasure box was definitely theirs. 10 million caddies of divine crystals. Is there anyone else who wants to bid? Said the elder of the Demon City with a smile. They were really overjoyed. This price was also beyond their expectations. What should we do, elder? Do we still want to bid? Ashueyo. The 100-eyed demon sage also looked gloomy. He really wanted to slap him to death. An elder said, this kid seems to have been provoked and will probably fight with us endlessly. So we give up. The 100-eyed demon sage and the others looked gloomy. The people of the demon city snorted in a low voice. This thing is very useful to the demon clan. We must get it. Let this kid bid. When the time comes, we will kill him and the treasure box will be ours. The people of the Golden Crow tribe also looked gloomy. They decided to bid once more. If the other party still bid, then they would give up. 12 million caddies. This time they directly bid an astonishing price, causing an uproar. The people of the Golden Crow tribe bid again. It seemed that they were determined to get this thing. They really didn't know what was inside. The people of the Demon City and the Golden Crow tribe both wanted it. And Lin Wudi, he just had to make a move at this time. Lin Wudi wouldn't dare to bid anymore. After all, this price was too frightening. How could he get it alone? 13 million caddies. However, Lin Xian bid again. How could this be? This kid dares to bid again. These people are crazy. The people of the Golden Crow tribe also looked gloomy. The other party had bid again. Then, according to their previous agreement, they wouldn't bid any more. However, someone dared to compete with them. How audacious. They stared at Lin Xian with unfriendly looks. Some of them even had killing intent in their eyes. When the people of the demon city saw this scene, they were also angry. How could this be? How could this kid take out 13 million caddies of divine crystals? That's a sky-high price. Shuiyu stood out and shouted. Impossible, he definitely doesn't have that much. He's making trouble. Yes, that's right. I think so too. The 100 Eyes demon sage looked down from above. His hundreds of eyes bloomed with terrifying light. Son, if you can't take it out, you should know the consequences. The people of the Golden Crow tribe didn't say anything. However, the killing intent on their bodies became even more piercingly cold. Obviously, if Lin Xian was deliberately making trouble, they would definitely not let him off. The evil demon's son also stood out. Don't worry, no one dares to make trouble here. If anyone dares to make trouble, no matter who you are, our demon palace has a way to make you disappear. Everyone was extremely nervous. It couldn't be, right? Was Lin Wuti causing trouble? He's definitely making trouble. He doesn't like the demon city, so he wants to anger them. But he didn't expect that this time he's playing too big. Let's see how this kid dies. If he can't take it out, the evil demon's son won't let him off. I can't take it out? Lin Xian smiled. He must get this thing. How could he not take it out? He looked around. No one is bidding? Well, then this thing is mine. Young master, you have to pay 13 million caddies of divine crystals before this thing is yours. An old man on the demon palace's side stood out and said with a smile. Don't worry, I naturally know the rules. Lin Xian took out something from his storage ring. When this thing came out, everyone was stunned. And Lin Xian's voice came out. Heavenly Luo Umbrella, a sacred weapon. I think its value should be 13 million caddies of divine crystals. What? He actually wants to trade a sacred weapon. God, is there something wrong with this kid? Why do I feel that his brain is flooded with water? That's a sacred weapon. Although it's worth 13 million, it's priceless. No one will sell a sacred weapon. Indeed, not to mention 13 million, even if you take 20 million caddies of divine crystals, no one will sell it. The people of the Demon City and the Thunder God City were stunned. They didn't expect that this kid really dared to do so. Oh my god, I forgot to update it at noon. What a sin. Chapter 3747. The people of the Golden Crow clan also recognized the item. Even the people of the Devil Palace were stunned. Young master, are you really going to use a saint item to exchange for it? The old man of the Devil Palace stuttered. Lin Xian said. That's right. What? Is it not worth the price? The old man of the Devil Palace spat out saliva. Of course it's worth it. His eyes were shining. Alright, this Heavenly Luo umbrella is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. I don't care. I want this item. He's really generous today. As expected of Lin Wuti, he's too generous. Many people screamed. There were also some people who shook their heads. This kid was too much of a spendthrift. Was he going to waste a saint weapon just like that? All kinds of discussions could be heard. Among the crowd, the people of Spirit Sealing Star were also dumbfounded when they saw this scene. Di Ling's face was gloomy. Damn it, he really deserves to die. Compared to the other party, he was like a country bumpkin. The people of the Rain clan at the side were even more unsightly. Damn it, this Heavenly Luo umbrella is their Rain clan's. Why is it in the hands of the other party? Damn it, as expected, there's a problem with their minor saint. Even their saint item was snatched away by the other party. Damn it, this is my Rain clan's saint item. At this moment, a minor saint of the Rain clan couldn't bear it anymore and rushed out. The aura on his body was extremely terrifying, and it firmly locked onto Lin Xian. Audacious. The people of the Devil Palace roared. Someone is causing trouble here. The others were also in an uproar. What's going on? Are they going to start a fight? The people of the Rain clan said that they didn't come here to cause trouble. This Heavenly Luo umbrella is their Rain clan's item. Why is this kid taking it out to exchange? What? This is Rain clan's item. Everyone was shocked. They looked at Lin Xian with a strange expression. The people of Myriad Demon City revealed a sinister smile again. What should they do now? The people of the Devil Palace also frowned and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian sneered. Your item? You have the face to say that? If you call him, will he answer? Of course he will answer. It has the sole imprint of a minor saint on it. It's impossible to grind it out. After saying that, the Rain clan's elder quickly made a hand seal and returned. He called out to the Heavenly Luo umbrella, but the Heavenly Luo umbrella just lay there motionless. How is this possible? The elder was stunned. Lin Xian sneered and waved his hand. The heavenly Luo umbrella appeared beside Lin Xian in the blink of an eye and shrouded him in its radiance. Use Luo's soul. It clearly has my soul imprint on it, so when did it become something that belongs to your Rain clan? What a joke. He thought that he could just make up a lie. Who would have thought that he would be slapping himself in the face? Cold laughter sounded one after another. The expressions on the faces of the Rain clan's people became extremely ugly. 2. The evil demon's son said coldly. That was a huge loss of face. No. Wuxia and the Rain clan's people screamed. They couldn't afford to lose face like this. The minor saint of the Rain clan was also trembling with anger. Damn it, I'll fight you to the death. He suddenly erupted with a terrifying law and rushed toward Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted and pulled back. You dare to make a move here? You don't want to live anymore. The Demon Palace's experts stood out one after another. But at this time, due to the fluctuation of the law, the stone box that Lin Xian placed on it was overturned. With a loud boom, everyone jumped in fright. Everyone stopped. The Demon Palace's people roared. Whoever dared to make a move would be killed without mercy. If the stone box was destroyed, they wouldn't be able to continue with the auction. The others were also nervous. A stone box was opened. What was inside? It was Lin Wudi who had just placed it. It seemed that only the lid was overturned. It shouldn't be damaged. Everyone was discussing spiritedly. They turned their heads to look. Lin Xian also looked. In the next moment he was stunned. The others also cried out in alarm. Heavens, what was that? That was a dragon. Moreover, it looked like a 5-clawed divine dragon. It was a divine beast. The corpse of an ancient expert was really sealed inside, and it was even a dragon expert. Everyone went crazy. The people of Thunder God City were shocked. The eyes of the people of Myriad Demon City were red. They had already felt that the aura inside was unusual. They didn't expect it to be a dragon. Damn it. They didn't get it. The Golden Crow clan's people also had sharp eyes. Was it the corpse of a dragon? Moreover, it was the corpse of an ancient expert. They must get it. Lin Xian was even more shocked. Others were screaming, but he was shocked because he saw a dark red divine dragon lying inside. Ruffian dragon? What was going on? Ruffian dragon had no aura? Could it be that he was already dead? Lin Xian's eyes instantly turned red. Damn it, who was it? Who killed Ruffian dragon? Why was Ruffian dragon here? No, I have to bring Ruffian dragon's corpse over. Lin Xian gritted his teeth. He still had the Eye of Time so he could revive Ruffian dragon. Lin Xian strode forward. He wanted to take Ruffian dragon away. However, at this moment, a Golden Crow clan's expert stepped forward. This is the corpse of a dragon. You're a human, so it's useless to you. If you give it to me, I can give you 15 million kilograms. Our Myriad Demon City can also give you a sacred artifact. If you give this dragon's corpse to us, we'll give it to you. The Myriad Demon City's expert also stepped forward. It seemed that he was also very confident in obtaining the corpse. I don't plan to give it to you. Move aside. Lin Xian's voice was ice cold. Although the dark red divine dragon didn't have any aura, he was not afraid. He had the Eye of Time so he could revive it. Therefore, he had to obtain the dragon's corpse. Brat, don't fail to appreciate my kindness. The Myriad Demon City's people were angry. Lin Xian sneered. Me fail to appreciate your kindness? The Myriad Demon City has been targeting me and you even wanted to kill me. Now you want me to give it to you? Do you think that's possible? Damn it. The Myriad Demon City's people had gloomy expressions. Indeed, there was enmity and conflict between them and they had even fought several times. They even wanted to assassinate Ruffian Dragon. Now, Ruffian Dragon would definitely not give it to them. However, they couldn't force him. After all, there were too many experts from the various families here. Once they made a move, a chaotic battle would definitely break out. At that time, the Fiend Palace would also make a move against them. Moreover, the Golden Crow clan was eyeing them covetously. Umph. They snorted coldly and retreated. They couldn't make a move openly, but they could make a move secretly. Next, they would assassinate Ruffian Dragon. Chapter 3748. Lin Xian turned his head and stared at the Golden Crow tribe. He had no enmity with these people, so his tone was more polite. Fellow cultivators, seniors, this thing has a special use for me, so I can't give it to you. I hope you can understand. Are you rejecting us? A young man from the Golden Crow tribe had a cold expression. Although he looked young, the aura on his body was abnormally terrifying. He had reached the fifth firmament realm. His long golden hair bloomed in the sky. No one dares to reject the Golden Crow tribe. Kid, you have guts. Lin Xian frowned as well. He had been extremely courteous to the Jianghu clan. However, he had not expected the other party to be so overbearing. Immediately, his face darkened. This is what I bid for. Whether I give it to you or not is up to me. What? Do you want to snatch it? Facing the Golden Crow tribe, Lin Xian did not back down. The aura between the two sides became stronger and stronger as they clashed in the sky. A sonorous sound rang out, and the surrounding people were stunned. They did not expect such a situation to happen. The Thousand Monster City did not make a move, but the Golden Crow tribe did. Lin Xian, was he going to go against the Golden Crow tribe? This Lin Wuti was really bold. First, he offended the two great Sage Realm cultivators, and now he wanted to offend the Golden Crow tribe. It could only be said that he was courting death. The Golden Crow tribe was not weaker than the Saint Realm cultivators at all. In fact, they were even more terrifying. They lived on a sun. They were real divine beasts. This Golden Crow tribe expert was probably interested in the secret of the dragons. Kid, you're standing here because you're giving Peerless City face. Otherwise, do you think you can stand side by side with us? The young man from the Golden Crow tribe said coldly. Now you're courting death and dare to snatch something from us. Be obedient and give it to us. Otherwise, you're dead meat today. Everyone gasped. Previously, the Golden Crow tribe did not speak much, so they did not understand. Now that they spoke, they felt that they were even more domineering than the people from the Thousand Monster City. They wanted to kill Lin Xian just because of a disagreement. If you dare to touch me, I don't mind roasting chicken wings for dinner today. Lin Xian pointed his sword forward. Even if the other party wanted to kill him, he wouldn't hold back. You're courting death. The young man from the Golden Crow clan roared angrily. Even the faces of the other experts sank. The other party actually didn't place them in his eyes. He was truly courting death. They didn't stop him. The young man roared and attacked. Golden light filled the sky and terrifying flames formed a cage that enveloped the entire sky. He wanted to completely refine Lin Xian. Lin Xian also made his move. Today he was fearless. Whoever dared to stop him, he would send them to hell. The long sword swept out, sweeping through the 9 heavens, causing heaven and earth to tremble. Retreat quickly. The surrounding people retreated as if they had gone mad. At the same time, they were shocked. Why didn't the Demon Palace's people attack this time? Indeed, last time when the Rain Clan's little saints attacked, the Fiend Palace forcibly stopped them. They even wanted to drive all of the Rain Clan's people out. Now when Lin Xian attacked, no one stopped them. It was truly inconceivable. Many people looked at the Fiend Palace. The Fiend Palace's people had incomparably gloomy expressions. No one knew what they were thinking. Boom, boom, boom. In the sky, the golden feathers turned into a sea of flames that enveloped the terrifying sword energy. You want to contend against me with just you? You're too weak. The young man from the Golden Crow clan, Jianghu, sneered. Today I'll kill you, the so-called chief disciple. He was extremely domineering. Not good. Lin Wuti is in danger. This brat is courting death. Who does he think he is? Since he dared to challenge the Golden Crow clan's genius, he's definitely going to die. The people from the Myriad Demon City and Thunder God City sneered. They wanted to see how this brat would die. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The great dragon sword soul in his body revolved. A terrifying sword light rushed out like a huge dragon. It directly broke free from the golden flames. At the same time, he slashed forward with his sword. With a clang. This sword strike landed on his opponent's body and sent him flying. You want to kill me with just you? You're too naive. Today I'll roast your chicken wings for you to eat. Lin Xian attacked aggressively. Sword energy rained down like rain. Jianghu roared crazily. Damn it. A pair of golden wings appeared behind his back. As they danced, a sea of flames spread. Golden feathers pierced the clouds like sharp swords. The battle between the two was earth-shattering. Everyone went crazy. They didn't expect Lin Wuti to be so strong that he could contend against Jianghu. Even the powerhouses of the Golden Crow clan didn't expect this. No one can hurt me. Jianghu roared crazily. His golden hair fluttered. At the same time, he stretched out a pair of sharp claws and tore through the void. Lin Xian was sent flying. However, his body and the Qilin tattoo were extremely strong. He only suffered the impact and his body didn't break. At the same time, he attacked again. Lin Xian unleashed a huge sword energy, causing Jianghu to tremble and his body to sway. Don't you want to kill me? Come on, let me see if you have the strength to do so. This time Lin Xian completely went berserk. Boom. Jianhai's sharp claws were broken and blood sprayed out. A miserable cry sounded. You're courting death. His handsome face was distorted. A pair of wings turned into heavenly blades and slashed over. Boom. Lin Xian didn't dodge. He waved the unparalleled sword in his hand and fought against Jianhai's right wing. Two clangs sounded like blades colliding. Sparks flew. Many large cracks appeared in the sky. The left wing chopped down. Oh no, why didn't Lin Wuti dodge? Did he want to block it with his body? He would definitely be split in half. Many people screamed. Lei Xinqing and the others also snorted coldly. The Rain clan Di Ling and the others clenched their fists. They couldn't wait to kill Lin Wuti. Jianhai's eyes were filled with killing intent. His wings were not inferior to a sacred artifact. He didn't believe that his opponent could block it. Golden light burst out from Lin Xian's body. Qilin tattoos covered his body. A large palm met the attack and collided with Jianhai's golden wings. Golden light rippled in the sky. A sonorous sound rang out. Su Chen's arm was numb from the impact. He had to admit that Jianhai was indeed powerful. His body was comparable to a low-grade sacred artifact. Lin Xian roared. His large hand grabbed Jianhai's wings and tore them apart. Puchi. Jianhai tore the wings off. His back instantly cracked and several large cracks appeared. Even his bones were exposed. It was a shocking sight. Sacred blood splashed out, piercing through heaven and earth. Jianhai screamed crazily. His two wings kept flapping as he tried to escape. How could Lin Xian let him escape? He grabbed Jianhai's wings with his left hand and the long sword in his right hand fell down crazily. It slashed Jianhai's body. Chapter 3749. Jianhai spat out blood. He was wearing armor and as a golden crow he had a strong physique. Even so he was still severely injured. How could it be? Everyone was stunned. Kid, you're courting death. Let go. The Golden Crow tribe's experts couldn't take it anymore. They roared and turned into two rays of golden light and rushed over. Lin Xian felt a chill down his spine. He didn't resist and quickly retreated. But before he left, he exerted his strength and tore off Jianhai's wing. Blood dyed the sky red. Jianhai's body swayed and fell from the sky. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was like a demon. His body was bathed in blood and he was holding a golden wing in his hand. He looked extremely ferocious. The two rays of golden light went crazy when they saw this scene. They were filled with killing intent and wanted to kill Lin Xian. Lin Xian shouted, "How dare you? I'm the first disciple of the third generation of Wushuang City. Today's battle is a battle between peers. If you old experts dare to attack, don't blame me for slaughtering your Golden Crow tribe." His loud voice spread across the sea. At this moment Lin Xian was extremely powerful. The two rays of golden light in the sky stopped and their faces turned ugly. "Good kid, you're so arrogant. Just you wait, this isn't over." The Golden Crow tribe's experts turned around and left with Jianhai. The surrounding people were all stunned. Jianhai was injured and his wings were torn off by someone. It was really unbelievable. Jianhai was an extremely terrifying genius. He was a level 5 sage. His body was strong and his bloodline was terrifying. He was even stronger than Lei Chong. Even the 100-eyed beast sage wasn't confident of defeating him. But now he was severely injured by Lin Xian. How did he do it? Lei Chong gasped. The people of Thunder God City were terrified. The people of Demon City also looked terrible. Lin Wuti was too powerful. They had to find a way to get rid of him immediately. Otherwise he would be a hidden danger in the future. Well, Lin Xian asked coldly. At this moment no one dared to answer. Lin Xian put away the dark red dragon's body, returned to his seat and sat down boldly. He put away the Golden Crow's wings. His body was covered in blood, but his eyes were still filled with murderous intent. Originally he wanted to retreat immediately. But now he had changed his mind. Since he had already made a big fuss, he might as well go all the way. Since the Crimson Dragon was here, he guessed that the North Demon might be here as well. However, now that things had gotten to this point, the surroundings had already been destroyed by the battle, and there was still terrifying energy, so there was no way for the auction to continue. Sure enough, the people from the Fiend Palace took away the final 3 treasure boxes. When he left, the demon child glanced at Lin Xian with an indescribable light in his eyes. Lin Xian did not mind. He just wanted to leave this place and quickly save the dark red divine dragon. Lin Xian left. Looking at the departing figure, the surrounding people were in an uproar. This Lin Wudi was too terrifying. Among the younger generation who could defeat him. He was too handsome as expected of a young great emperor. Even when facing a powerful divine beast like the Golden Crow clan, he was still fearless. Those followers were extremely excited. Of course there were also people who sneered. It was too early to be happy. The Golden Crow clan would definitely not let this matter rest. Moreover, this kid had made too many enemies. Although he was from the Holy City, the people he had provoked were not weaker than those from the Wuxia City. After hearing that, the crowd sucked in a breath of cold air, and their scalps went numb. Indeed, Lei Xinqing and the Thousand Demon City were both old holy cities, and they were very powerful. The Golden Crow clan was also not from the Holy City, and in some aspects, they were even more terrifying. Lin Xian's future path would definitely become more and more difficult. Damn it, this was truly too hateful. The people from the Rain clan were gnashing their teeth. Di Ling's eyes were also emitting a biting cold light. No, he had to quickly get rid of this kid. He felt a huge threat. Because he realized that Lin Xian had completely surpassed him. If he went up now, he would probably be killed within 10 moves. Such a huge gap was unbearable for him. Don't worry, we will make the arrangements. I think this kid will definitely not live to see tomorrow's sun. The elder of the spirit sealing star's eyes were emitting a biting cold killing intent. Lin Xian left, but he did not completely leave the evil demon city. Because the last 3 treasure boxes had not been opened yet. He had to wait. He had to confirm whether the northern demon was in the box or not. He settled down in the evil demon city. The place was provided by the lord of the Kuntong Pond. It was a very deep and luxurious mansion with various defensive formations. Lin Xian settled down. He set up more formations and at the same time, let the Spectre Immortals start to set them up. Because he knew that tonight would definitely not be peaceful. Some people just wouldn't give up. However, he would kill them until they gave up. The night was dark and the wind was strong. Lin Xian sat there cross-legged, and in front of him was the peerless sword. At this moment, his soul had already entered the black earth. Inside the black earth, the dark red dragon was lying there. Its body was cold, and the dragon scales on its body were emitting a metallic luster. There was no aura, not even the fluctuation of its soul. Lin Xian tried all kinds of methods but he could not wake it up. It seemed that he could only use the Eye of Time. Lin Xian still had 5 eyes of time in his hands. These things could bring the dead back to life. It was incomparably precious. However, Lin Xian could not care so much now. He had to save the dark red dragon. The two of them could be said to have stayed the longest. Lin Xian had gone from a weak martial artist to a saint today. The dark red dragon's help was huge. Thinking of this, he took a deep breath and took out an Eye of Time. That was the Eye of Time, emitting a demonic light. Lin Xian activated the Eye of Time and placed it beside the dark red dragon. He summoned Hey Tuesday. He let him wait here quietly. Then Lin Xian left the black earth and came to the courtyard of the mansion. He looked in all directions. Black Mountain, how is it going? Time was too short, so it was sloppy. However, if those people dared to come, he could teach them a lesson. Black Mountain floated in front of him like a ghost. Very good. Lin Xian's mouth curled into a cold smile. He closed his eyes to rest and began to adjust his state, ready to fight at any time. In the latter half of the night, the moon was covered by dark clouds in the sky. 4 black shadows rushed over in an instant. They were as silent as ghosts. Bus. Lin Xian suddenly opened his eyes. At this moment, the mansion had long become his territory. He knew every move here like the back of his hand. His eyes flickered, and the peerless sword in front of him turned into a stream of light, piercing into the darkness in front of him. With a puff, a figure was split in half and blood sprayed out. That person did not even have time to scream. Chapter 3750. Damn it, we've been discovered. Another person growled. What's there to be afraid of? So what if we've been discovered? Today this kid won't be able to escape. A cold voice sounded and 3 other figures appeared. Their faces were filled with killing intent. It's you guys. Lin Xian frowned. You don't know what's good for you. I thought it was Demon City or Golden Crow. I didn't expect it to be you guys. The 3 people in front were from Spirit Sealing Star. The other one was an expert from the Rain clan. His face was extremely gloomy. Damn kid, I'll torture you to death today. The expert from the Rain clan gritted his teeth. With just you guys? Lin Xian said disdainfully. Kid, you're too arrogant. We're 3 minor saints. Can't we stop you? After seeing how terrifying Lin Xian was during the day, they sent assassins to assassinate him at night. All of them were minor saints. However, the 2 minor saints of the Rain clan were killed in the Void Ocean, so they couldn't send such experts. They could only send a minor saint and a 5th heavenly expert. They didn't expect that the 5th heavenly expert would be killed by Lin Xian as soon as he arrived. Are minor saints that powerful? Lin Xian said disdainfully. He had long known that there would be experts coming tonight. How could he not have made preparations? Even if a minor saint came today, he would still kill him. You're courting death. Go to hell. The minor saint from Spirit Sealing Star shouted coldly. A big hand reached out, grabbing at Lin Xian. Lin Xian quickly dodged and fought back. Kid, you can't escape. Today you'll definitely die. Another minor saint attacked. Lin Xian used the void escape and teleported. In the sky, countless laws shone. The 3 minor saints attacked, trying to kill Lin Xian. The 3 of them sneered. Aren't you arrogant? You don't put us in your eyes? Stupid ant, no matter how strong you are, you're just a 3rd heavenly expert. How dare you fight against us? Today we'll let you know the power of a minor saint. The 3 minor saints showed a ferocious expression. Now the opponent only dared to dodge and didn't dare to fight against them. This showed that the other party did not have the strength to do so. Their previous worries had completely disappeared. In the blink of an eye, over 100 moves had passed. Lin Xian relied on his spatial mystique to narrowly avoid these attacks. The faces of the 3 minor saints sank. Damn it. The opponent's cultivation base wasn't strong, but the speed of his escape was very fast. In particular, the other party had spatial divine abilities, which surprised them greatly. Brat, aren't you very powerful? You claim to be invincible. Why don't you dare to fight with us? That's right, an ant like you dares to walk the path of a great emperor? What a joke. Lin Xian sneered when he heard the sarcastic remarks of the 3 minor saints. The 3 of you are almost 10,000 years old. How dare you talk about me here? Where is your face? You 3 old farts attacked me, a junior, and you still can't catch me? What was there to be proud of? I really don't know what you're so happy about. If we were to fight at the same level, I would be able to kill the 3 of you with a single slap. Lin Xian had boundless confidence. His words infuriated the 3 little saints. Damn it, arrogant brat. I admit that you have some talent, but so what? Once you're dead, it's useless no matter how talented you are. You will never grow. Ah. Lin Xian looked up and laughed. Do you think the 3 of you can kill me? Do you think that I was afraid of you when I was hiding? How stupid. I was waiting for the big fish to take the bait. My enemy today is not you. The 3 minor saints were mad. How dare the opponent not put them in his eyes? He even dared to talk nonsense. They were really pissed off. Suddenly, their expressions froze and they turned around to look at their surroundings. Because they found that there were many powerful auras around them. And there were many of them. These people were standing in different places. Obviously, they were not from the same force. Minor saints, all of them were minor saints. They sucked in a breath of cold air. Could it be those forces? Lin Xian's eyes shone with golden light. He looked around and sneered. The big fish has taken the bait. It seems like you can't wait any longer and want to attack. Reckless brat, you didn't run away. You're really an idiot. In the north, 2 figures appeared. They were bathed in terrifying lightning that wrapped around their bodies. It was impossible to see their faces clearly. But to have such powerful lightning aura, they must be from Thunder God City. In the east. Similarly, there were 2 figures standing there. Purple chi surrounded their bodies, carrying a powerful murderous aura. Their faces were also covered. Those with such demonic aura should be from Myriad Demon City. And in the south there was a figure standing there. The figure was bathed in flames. He was very terrifying. It was as if he could burn the whole world. The figure also had his face covered, but Lin Xian knew that he was an expert from Golden Crow clan. In the south there were also 2 figures. Their bodies were filled with black chi, and their aura was very terrifying. For a moment, Lin Xian couldn't figure out which side they were from. But these people were all minor saints. With so many people here, it seems like we're not the only ones who want to kill you. The minor saint of the Rain clan revealed a hideous smile. He looked around. Everyone, we just want to kill this brat. We have no interest in the treasures on his body. They could also see that these people were most likely the experts from Great Sage City, so they didn't dare to fight against them. There are 10 minor saints here, right? You really think too highly of me. Sending so many minor saints to kill me, aren't you afraid of Wuxia City's revenge? If you die, no one will know who killed you. The figure surrounded by purple demonic aura said coldly. Lin Xian laughed. That's right. Since you're hiding your faces and no one knows your identity, no one will investigate you even if you die. You don't know what's good for you. You want to kill us? Any one of them would be able to kill you 1,000 times over. Who would you be able to kill? In the north, the figures surrounded by lightning said. Indeed, they were all minor saints. They were all 6th heavenly layer saints, 3 heavenly layers higher than the other party. How could the other party compare with them? Really? Do you think I'm not prepared to face you? Lin Xian laughed. The minor saints were all shocked. Indeed, this was very abnormal. If the other party wasn't an idiot, then he must have something to rely on. However, they really couldn't understand what the other party relied on to be able to fight against so many minor saints. Could it be that there was an expert from Wuxia City behind the other party? But even if there was an expert from Wuxia City, how many of them could come? Even if there was, they would only be minor saints. Could they defeat them? Unless there was a saint venerable. However, such an existence wouldn't appear easily. Therefore, they thought that the other party was pretending to be calm because he had no way out. Stupid. Lin Xian sneered. I'll let you see what I can do. Having said that, Heishan took action in the dark. The array formation around the mansion lit up and completely sealed off the entire mansion. Formation? In the mansion, the minor saints discussed, but soon they sneered disdainfully. Do you think a mere formation can do anything to us? I have to say you're really ignorant. It seems like you really don't know the difference between a minor saint and an ordinary saint. These people didn't care at all. They had seen all kinds of formations before. Is that so? Then feel it again. Lin Xian pulled out the unparalleled sword. Damn it, what's going on? Suddenly, the 2 figures in the north with the aura of thunder and lightning screamed. Our cultivation base is being suppressed. How is this possible? I have something to do during the day, so I'll update at night. Chapter 37:51. As soon as these words came out, the other little saints were also stunned. They quickly checked and screamed one after another. How is this possible? Our cultivation base has dropped to the 5th heavenly layer after falling to the little saint realm. Damn it. What kind of formation is this? How can it suppress our cultivation base? Their faces were full of shock. Isn't this too unbelievable? What kind of formation can make their cultivation base drop? Damn it. Quickly break this formation. They attacked crazily in all directions. The formation fluctuated, but it didn't affect them at all. Not only that, there was another wave of energy coming from the formation, causing their bodies to freeze in the void. They couldn't move? What the hell is going on? They were dumbfounded. At this moment, they finally understood what kind of capital Lin Xian had. The wonder of this formation was beyond their imagination. It seemed that the formation was working. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He asked Heishan to set it up in advance. Heishan used the Composed Pearl and the Great Sage Pagoda to set up such a formation. He used the power of the Great Sage Pagoda to suppress the cultivation base of these little saints, and the power of the Composed Pearl to freeze them. Of course, the Composed Pearl as an ordinary saint tool probably couldn't freeze so many little saints for a long time. However, it was enough as long as it could stop some of them. Lin Xian would personally deal with these people. I'll deal with the 3 of you first. Lin Xian stared at the Rain Clan and the 3 little saints of the Spirit Sealing Star. Then he attacked with the unparalleled sword. Damn it. The 3 of them felt their scalps go numb at first, then they roared. The other party is too arrogant. Boy, so what if you suppress our cultivation base? Even if we are suppressed to the 5th heavenly layer now, you can't fight against us. Humph, our means are beyond your imagination. The 3 of them attacked together. Between heaven and earth, the laws spread. The 3 of them attacked with their divine abilities. Lin Xian dodged quickly like a Kuan-Peng. What? Aren't you very confident? Didn't you look down on me? Why do you need to join forces to kill me? Lin Xian sneered. His long sword swept across like a dragon. The divine abilities of the 3 of them were shattered. Damn it. How can this boy be so strong? The expressions of the 3 little saints changed dramatically. Previously they were high and mighty and did not put Lin Xian in their eyes. But now, with their cultivation suppressed, they realized how terrifying Lin Xian's strength was. Their 5th heavenly layer was actually unable to contend against the other party. His opponent's strength was like a vast ocean. The sword aura was so sharp that it made their hair stand on end. Get lost. The 3 of them roared angrily and counterattacked frantically. Terrifying laws gushed out like waves wanting to shatter the sword chi. However, it was useless. The cultivation bases of the 3 minor saints were suppressed while Lin Xian unleashed his full power. The roar of the great dragon sword soul, coupled with the sharpness of the unparalleled sword, was truly powerful to the extreme. With a single slash he cleaved apart these laws. With a single slash the arm of the little saint of the Rain clan was cut off. Boom. At the same time he raised his leg and kicked the broken arm into a bloody mist. The Rain clan's little saint screamed while the two little saints from Spirit Sealing Star roared. They slapped out their palms, which had terrifying seals on them. They wanted to subdue Lin Xian. Lin Xian quickly dodged and retreated like a kunpeng. At the same time he struck out a few more slashes and pulled out the Great Spear of Destruction. Soon one of the saints was split in half. The other saints were also pierced through by the Great Spear of Destruction. In the blink of an eye, the three saints were severely injured and roared miserably. This scene shocked everyone who was watching from all directions. How could it be? How could this kid be so strong? No, it's not that he's strong, but our cultivation bases are suppressed. Damn it, break the formation quickly or we'll be in danger. The expert surrounded by lightning said crazily. These people moved quickly, trying to break the formation. Black Mountain made a move in the dark, contending against it. Lin Xian was not worried. He looked at Sangha Little Saint. The three minor saints' bodies were quickly healing, but their faces were extremely miserable. Damn brat, I'll definitely tear you to shreds. You're just relying on the advantage of the formation. Under normal circumstances, I can kill you with a glance. I'm relying on the advantage of the formation, so what? I'm not even 100 years old, what about you guys? All of you are more than 3,000 years old, aren't you relying on the advantage of time? If we're the same age, believe it or not, I'll be able to kill the three of you with 1 foot. Lin Xian sneered. Barf. The three minor saints were enraged. Once again they joined forces and attacked. But unfortunately they were once again smashed into pieces and blood flowed everywhere. Kid, you can't kill us. At most you can break us into pieces, but at our level we won't die. Once the formation disappears, I'll kill you and tear you into pieces. Not only you, I'll kill everyone related to you and send them all to hell. They screamed crazily. They were extremely angry, but they were not afraid because they knew that this was the power of the formation. Lin Xian couldn't kill them. Can't kill you? Are you sure? Lin Xian snorted and walked over. He grabbed the Rain clan's little saint's head with one hand. The next moment he activated the Taiji incantation. A terrifying death mist spread out and poured into the little saint's body. Suddenly, the Rain clan's little saint's pupils constricted, and a hint of fear appeared in his eyes. Damn it you. Just as he was about to say something, Lin Xian smashed his mouth with a slap. Didn't you say that I can't kill you? Sop, sop. The Rain clan's little saint's mouth was smashed, and blood kept flowing out from the cracks. His body began to tremble. His eyes were filled with boundless terror. Damn it, what's going on? What happened to the saint? The two saints next to him also felt their hair stand on end. The little saints around them were even more shocked. What was it that could make a little saint so fearful? Ah, no. The Rain clan's little saint's smashed mouth recovered and screamed, but it was still smashed again. This time it was even more thoroughly shattered. His soul wanted to escape. Damn it, how can you? He found that his vitality was rapidly disappearing and his foundation was damaged. If this continued, he would become a dry corpse. Not only that, but he also found that his soul was threatened. He seemed to have aged. If this continued, he would lose all his saint fates. He wanted to escape, but he was held down by Lin Xian. The Taiji incantation circulated even more crazily. At the same time, Lin Xian's body shone with boundless golden light, covering the black death mist. In the end, the Rain clan's little saint screamed and turned into a dry corpse. Lin Xian snorted and threw the corpse on the ground. The corpse's arms were broken and his body was smashed. Other parts of his body were also covered with wounds. His eyes were wide open. Even in death he could not believe that he was killed. Moreover, he died in the hands of an ant. It's coming. Don't worry, I'll update 5 times before midnight. Chapter 3752. Was he dead? How was this possible? How could a little saint die just like that? The 2 little saints of Spirit Sealing Star were stunned. The rest of the people were also terrified. At this moment they were really scared. Although they were angry before, they weren't scared. Because they were confident that with their strength, even if the other party could torture them, it wouldn't matter. He couldn't kill them at all. Now, the means Lin Xian showed were really beyond their expectations. The other party could kill a little saint. This was simply too shocking. One should know that Little Saint was the first watershed of saints. Once a little saint stepped into this realm, there would be earth-shattering changes. A little saint could easily crush a 5th heaven saint. He couldn't even break the other party's defense. If it weren't for this formation, they would have killed the other party more than 10,000 times. And now, the other party had really killed a little saint. This was simply heaven-defying. Damn it. Let's get out of here. These little saints finally panicked. They went crazy and desperately wanted to tear the formation apart. Heishan secretly controlled the formation. At the same time, he transmitted his voice to him. Kid, hurry up. It will be troublesome if these little saints run away. Got it. Lin Xian nodded and turned to look at the two little saints of Spirit Sealing Star. He stretched out his hands and grabbed at the two little saints. Run. The two little saints ran away, one on the left and one on the right. Lin Xian's arms stretched out like a dragon and shrouded the two little saints. Then he pulled them back to his side. The death mist appeared and crazily absorbed their saint fate. The two little saints were already seriously injured. Now that they were shrouded in the death mist, their vitality was flowing rapidly. They were terrified. Now they finally knew what the little saints of Rain Clan were afraid of. This was something that could deprive a saint fate. How could the other party have such a thing? This was unbelievable. Who was this person? The two of them didn't dare to resist at all. Now they only wanted to run away. Boom. Lin Xian grabbed the two little saints with both hands and slammed them on the ground. With a boom, two deep pits appeared on the ground. The two little saints were knocked dizzy. Their bodies weren't broken, but their great emperors were broken. A tortoise-like body is hard enough. Lin Xian grabbed the two of them again and smashed them together. The two of them were hit so hard that their heads bled, and cracks appeared on their bodies once again. Damn it. They were crazy. One of them spat out a gourd and scattered a sealing law. Lin Xian had been sealed. This was a good opportunity. The two little saints wanted to flee. At this moment, the seal opened with a bang. Lin Xian was surrounded by sword chi. Even now you still dare to attack me? Go to hell. Locking spring and autumn. The death fog increased in size, continuously seizing the life force of the enemy. Finally, the two little saints turned into dried corpses. Their souls had also undergone over 100 cycles of reincarnation. He was tortured beyond recognition. In the end, two little saints perished as well. The three corpses laid there like 1,000-year-old zombies. It was abnormally strange. Now that the three of them have been dealt with, it's your turn next. Lin Xian looked around and his eyes were filled with killing intent. Those little saints felt their hair stand on end. They crazily attacked, burning their bloodline. The formation shook violently. Not good. Lin Xian's expression changed. His body swayed and he instantly rushed over. He slashed his sword at the expert who was surrounded by lightning. That expert was split apart, but at the same time he could move again. He roared, "Kill." He charged at Lin Xian. Go to hell, Ant. As a little saint, he really didn't expect that Lin Xian could hurt him. In an instant, the law on his body exploded, shrouding Lin Xian. Lin Xian used the void escape technique to dodge. At the same time he frowned. Can't Heishan suppress their cultivation? It's better to suppress it to the fourth heavenly layer. I want to torture these people to death. Damn it, I'll fight. Heishan gritted his teeth. Originally he wanted to use a special force at the critical moment. But now he would use it here. He activated the Great Sage Pagoda again. Although these little saints were powerful, the Great Sage Pagoda. That was a Sun-grade saint tool which was refined by the Great Sage. Its power was endless. It was absolutely unimaginable. If the Great Sage Pagoda could be fully resurrected, it would only need one strike to destroy the souls of 10 little saints. However, the energy consumed to resurrect the Great Sage Pagoda was too great. Neither Lin Xian nor Heishan could fully resurrect it. Therefore they could only use the power of the Great Sage Pagoda as much as possible. Under Heishan's control, the Great Sage Pagoda erupted again, suppressing the cultivation of the remaining little saints, causing them to fall to the fourth heavenly layer. Oh, damn it, how is this possible? These people were going crazy. They couldn't believe it at all. Lin Xian sneered. He rushed over like a bolt of lightning, punching and kicking. He directly bombarded the two little saints from Thunder God Realm. The two men's faces were instantly beaten black and blue. They fought back crazily and launched their strongest divine ability. But it was useless. Now they were suppressed to the fourth heavenly layer. They couldn't do anything to Lin Xian at all. Because although Lin Xian's cultivation was only at the third heavenly layer, it wasn't a problem for him to fight a fifth heavenly layer. Unless the cultivation of these little saints wasn't suppressed. Otherwise they really couldn't defeat Lin Xian. The two little saints from Thunder God City were beaten until they wet their pants and fled all over the world. One of them was caught by Lin Xian and directly pressed into the ground. The other was kicked into two pieces by Lin Xian. The broken body twitched in the air, looking very miserable. "Damn kid, I want to get out of here. I will definitely tear you into pieces." The two little saints screamed crazily. They were too aggrieved. They were usually high and mighty. When had they ever suffered such humiliation? As soon as they finished speaking, Lin Xian kicked them again. Their heads were stomped into the ground. "How dare you be arrogant in front of me? Hurry up and let me eat some soil." The two little saints opened their mouths, but they ended up eating the dirt instead. The other little saints felt their scalps go numb. To be honest, they were not afraid of being seriously injured. But being tortured by a third heavenly layer little saint like this really drove them crazy. Just looking at it made them panic, not to mention that they would also be in the same situation later. Do you really want to just watch? What happened to the two of us will be your end. Hurry up and fight back. The two little saints from Thunder God City roared crazily. Lin Xian sneered. "Originally, I wanted to torture you for a while more. But it seems like you are courting death. Then I'll send you on your way." He unleashed the death mist, depriving the two little saints of their vitality. They screamed crazily. "Oh, damn it, you can't do this to me." They wanted to show their identity because they didn't believe that Yi Shiwen would dare to kill them. However, Lin Xian didn't give them the chance to do so. Two big slaps came down and smashed their faces. "What are you? Do you still dare to be arrogant? Go to hell?" "Shit, I'm so scared that I peed my pants." I wrote Lin Xian's massacre in the moonlit night. Suddenly there was a storm outside and there was a blackout. Then lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. I thought someone was going through a tribulation. It's not that I'm slow. It's a blackout? I don't know if there will be a blackout later. Chapter 3753. The death mist erupted and directly sucked away the saints' secrets of the two little saints. No matter how strong these two minor saints were and how they could look down on other saints, they were just a pile of bones without any life force. Two more were killed. Who was next? Lin Xian looked around again. Suddenly, the people of Demon City felt their scalps go numb. The demonic qi on their bodies kept surging. The flames on the body of the man from the Golden Crow tribe were also leaping about. The other two mysterious men in black were emitting biting cold killing intent. Obviously, they didn't want to be tortured like this, let alone die. "You guys will do." Lin Xian stared at the people of Demon City. Previously they had sent the Void Beast to kill him. Now it was time to pay them back. Lin Xian held the unparalleled sword and charged over. The two little saints of Demon City were sent flying while vomiting blood. There were two more sword wounds on their bodies, but their bodies didn't split open. After all, they were demonic beasts with strong bodies. The two of them broke free from the control of the mind-calming pearl and roared crazily, "Kill him!" The two of them attacked while healing their bodies. One of them turned his palm into a mountain and blasted over with the terrifying great Tao of heaven and earth. Lin Xian sneered and slashed out with his sword. Blood splattered. The palm of the little saint was split open, revealing deep white bones. A miserable cry was heard. The little saint covered his arm and retreated. At this time the other little saint came over. A tail appeared on his body, carrying sharp poison as it quickly rushed over. This attack was comparable to a sacred artifact. Lin Xian used his physical body to fight back, and the battle was earth-shattering. The little saint's cultivation base was suppressed. He couldn't resist and was sent flying while vomiting blood. In the end, the tail was beaten into a bloody pulp. Lin Xian even cut it off with his sword and then tested it with the Nine Suns' divine flame. The smell of barbecued meat filled the air. Lin Xian laughed loudly. The little saint was so angry that he vomited blood. Damn it! He really deserved to die. What is your true form? Is it a big lizard? Meat tastes terrible. Lin Xian spat, his face full of disdain. The little saint from Demon City was so angry that he felt like his lungs were about to explode. Roaring, he transformed into an enormous lizard. His scarlet eyes blossomed with a terrifying light. Really is a big lizard? I'm not interested in you. I don't want to eat your meat. Get lost. Lin Xian punched out. Boom. Boom. The lizard's small saint didn't dare to take the attack head-on because he had fought with Lin Xian before. He wasn't a match for Lin Xian at all and could only dodge quickly. Lin Xian's fists were fast, hitting him like thunder. Helplessly, he could only avoid being hit in his vitals. Many bloody holes appeared on his body. Die for me. At this moment, he revealed a sinister smile and directly swallowed the other party. Kid, I'll use my venom to refine you. The lizard small saint laughed. His divine ability was very unique, allowing him to devour anyone. He could even refine a minor saint, let alone a third heavenly layer saint. So what if the other party was strong? He definitely wouldn't be able to withstand his venom. The other little saints heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed like the crisis was over. Among them, the expert from the Golden Crow tribe swept his gaze in all directions. Obviously, he was looking for the ancient dragon's corpse. The other two mysterious people shrouded in black mist also had their eyes flickering. It seemed like they were also looking for the dragon's corpse. However, they couldn't find it. At this moment, the expert from the Golden Crow tribe spoke. Don't kill him. Leave him with one last breath. I must know where he hid the dragon's body. Don't worry, I'll help you find out. We can share the dragon's corpse equally. The lizard's small saint revealed a sinister smile. Boom. Suddenly he screamed and revealed a look of horror. That enormous body actually began to tremble. With a plop, he knelt on the ground. No. Damn it. You can't do this to me. He screamed, his eyes filled with infinite fear. What happened? These people were stunned again. They really couldn't figure out what Lin Xian had that made him so terrified. The lizard's small saint's body was getting smaller and smaller. He couldn't escape even if he wanted to because he had already swallowed Lin Xian. Lin Xian had used the death mist to absorb his saint's secret. He had brought this upon himself. Sure enough, the lizard's small saint died the fastest. His life force was sucked dry in an instant. Lin Xian walked out of the broken body. He shook his head and sneered. Then he looked at the other little saint of the demon race. Ah! The little saint screamed and spat out a sharp sword toward the formation. It was a saint artifact, a mid-grade saint artifact. It was very powerful. In the sky, it turned into a bolt of lightning, splitting the void and creating an endless black hole. However, it didn't break the formation. This was because the formation was formed by the great sage's weapon. The gap between the two was too big. The little saint was in despair. Lin Xian sneered. A saint weapon? Seems like you don't have confidence in yourself. Do you need a saint weapon to kill me? It was true that none of the minor saints had brought out their saint items because they felt that they were already giving face to a third heaven ant by coming here personally. As for bringing a saint weapon? What a joke. They could kill him with just a glance. However, the result was beyond their expectations. Their opponent's strength was beyond their imagination. Damn it, I'll fight you to the death. The little saint from Myriad Demon City roared and charged forward, brandishing his sword. You want to compete with me in sword technique? You're too inexperienced. Lin Xian swung his sword. With 3 slashes, the little saint was split into 3 halves. Black mist rushed out and shrouded the broken body. The saint's secret was taken away. He died again. This time, the pupils of the experts of the Golden Crow race shrunk. The 2 experts who were shrouded in black mist were also shocked. What a terrifying death chi. What's that? It looks very similar to the death mist. The eyes of the expert of the Golden Crow race shone with a cold light. Now he finally knew why. Some little saints would be killed. This was the death mist. Even though they were little saints, they didn't dare to get too close to the death mist. This kind of thing was too terrifying. How did he have it? What a sinister kid. He secretly installed the death mist to deal with us. But how much can you have? Moreover, will you remain untainted? The expert of the Golden Crow race looked disdainful. He had never thought that Lin Xian would be able to control the death mist. This was beyond his knowledge. In his opinion, Lin Xian must have taken advantage of the situation and used a saint artifact to store some of the death mist. Now kneel down and kowtow to me. Remove the formation and tell me the dragon's corpse. I can guarantee that I will leave your corpse intact. His body was covered in flames, blooming like a god. Leave my corpse intact? You're really arrogant. Why don't you look at the situation now? Do you still have the right to be arrogant in front of me? Lin Xian also smiled. The Golden Crow race thinks too highly of themselves. He narrowed his eyes and looked at them from head to toe. Last time I ate one of your wings. It tasted good. But it's too little. Don't worry, I'll leave your corpse intact because I'm going to eat you. The wind kept blowing and the rain kept falling. Lin Xian kept killing? Please vote. Chapter 3754. Lin Xian was drooling at this point. The roasted golden crow was a little saint golden crow. The meat would definitely be delicious. Don't worry, I won't use the death mist this time to ensure that your body is intact and has sufficient energy. Lin Xian asked Black Mountain to control the mind-settling pearl to freeze the last two people shrouded in the black mist. He let go. He let go of his control over the Golden Crow Little Saint. This time Lin Xian was going to use his strength to kill his opponent. You gave up your control over me? The Golden Crow Little Saint smirked when he felt the control around him disappear. You're very confident, but you're also very stupid. Do you really think you can fight against me? We, the Golden Crow tribe, are divine beasts that are no weaker than true dragons and cheelants. How dare you fight against me? You're courting death. Very well, I'll let you die willingly. Didn't you say that you're invincible among your peers? Today I'll use my third heavenly layer cultivation base to kill you. I'll let you see how laughable you are. The aura of the Golden Crow Small Sage changed once again. It actually dropped. It descended to the third heavenly layer. This time it wasn't the effect of the formation, but his own cultivation base. You actually sealed your cultivation base to fight against me at the same level? Lin Xian had a strange expression on his face. He smiled as well. You're very confident, but you're also very stupid. Do you really think you can fight against me at the same level? The Golden Crow Little Saint had just said the same thing. Now Lin Xian had returned the same words to him. You're a sharp-tongued kid. You can be arrogant. I'll catch you later and tear you apart piece by piece. The Golden Crow Little Saint's murderous aura surged. His eyes were like heavenly blades. Buzz. In the next moment he made his move. With a roar, the 9 heavens and 10 earths trembled. Even the formation was stirred. One had to admit that the Golden Crow tribe was very powerful, especially the Golden Crow Little Saint. Although he had suppressed his cultivation base, his violent power still frightened the others. Golden Crow Divine Claw. His body shone brightly, forming a golden claw that grabbed forward. Murderous intent surged into the sky like countless swords and sabers. It shattered the void and enveloped Lin Xian. Boom. Lin Xian roared and punched out. Terrifying golden flames flickered on his fists, turning into divine swords one after another, flying between heaven and earth. Boom. After the attack, the fake mountains, pavilions, and houses in the mansion were all reduced to dust and no longer existed. If it weren't for the defensive array formation, the entire evil demon city would have been reduced to ashes in an instant. How was that possible? He had blocked it. The Golden Crow Little Saint was stunned. He felt his arm go numb. His opponent's sword chi was too powerful, and his fist was too hard. It made him feel as if he had collided with 100,000 mountains, and his chi and blood were surging. It was truly unbelievable. In a battle of the same level, he was actually unable to contend against the other party? He didn't believe it. You have some strength to actually be able to receive my attack. However, after 3 moves I'll definitely cripple you. The Golden Crow Race's Small Saint snorted coldly. The flames around his body trembled, making him look like a demonic god that was unstoppable. Kill. Lin Xian roared as well. Golden light shone, making him look like a god of war. He waved his fist, bringing with it a supreme killing technique. Boom. Boom. The second move was a shocking confrontation between the two. The Golden Crow Race's Small Saint was sent flying. In the third move, Lin Xian punched his opponent's arm. Half of his opponent's body turned into a bloody mist. The Golden Crow Race's Small Saint screamed. Damn it, how dare you hurt me? I want you dead. He was too angry. How embarrassing. He had just said that he could crush his opponent in a battle of the same level, and even defeat him in 3 moves. However, in a battle of the same level he was actually injured by his opponent. Wasn't this a slap in the face? Moreover, the slap in the face came too quickly. How could the arrogant him tolerate this? Buzz. The power of his bloodline formed a long golden saber that he held in his hand. When the saber slashed down, his chi and blood rushed into the clouds. Heaven and earth were split apart. Lin Xian also felt a chill run down his spine. He roared and struck out a sky full of sword shadows. 108,000 swords, each of them golden, with monstrous killing intent, turned into a rain of swords and soared into the sky. They collided with his opponent's golden saber. The whole sky was filled with clanging sounds, and the entire void was shattered. It was like a sea of swords. At this moment, the Golden Crow Race's Small Saint was engulfed. The 2 mysterious experts who were nailed in the distance also gasped. They had to admit that Lin Xian was really too powerful. In a battle of the same level, no one would be a match for him. Indeed, in the rain of swords, the Golden Crow Race's Small Saint screamed crazily. His bloodline saber was shattered. Not only that, but there were also 24 swords piercing through his body. The terrifying crack was a ghastly sight. I want you dead. I must kill you. He roared and the seal was lifted. His cultivation soared again, reaching the fourth heaven. However, when it rose, it was suppressed by the formation and stopped at the fourth heaven. Damn it. Damn it. If he had his full strength, he wouldn't have to be so sullen. He could kill his opponent with just a glance. Lin Xian sneered. Didn't you say you want to fight me at the same level? You want to kill me? Didn't you say you want to kill me in 3 moves? Why can't you do it? Is this your pride? Is this the power of the Golden Crow race's bloodline? In my opinion, it's just SOSO. It was just that with the help of the passage of time, the time it took to cultivate was longer. If I become a small saint in the future, killing someone like you will be as easy as blowing off dust. The Golden Crow race's small saint was trembling with anger. He couldn't win against Lin Xian and he couldn't refute him. Now, only by killing Lin Xian and using his blood could he wash away his shame. He turned into a flash of lightning, once again holding a golden saber, and charged over. At this moment he was like a god of death, constantly attacking. Terrifying golden shadows were everywhere in the world. The whole world was boiling. However, in the sky full of saber light and flames, a figure swept in all directions. It was as if he was the supreme god of war, splitting the heaven and earth. Lin Xian was too strong. All the saber light was blown away by him, and the flames were absorbed and refined by him. The Golden Crow race's small saint was just SOSO. If you don't have any other trump cards, you can die now. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with killing intent. Blue Tide Sound Wave. He formed a seal with his palm, and his eye technique swept across in all directions. This was a very powerful eye technique. A small saint might be able to resist it, but his cultivation base was suppressed at this moment. Even the strength of his soul was suppressed. Therefore, at this moment, the Golden Crow race's small saint could feel the threat of the Blue Tide Sound Wave, and he couldn't stop trembling. His face was pale and he almost fell down. However, he was an expert after all. At this critical moment, he activated his bloodline. Behind him, a huge shadow of the Golden Crow appeared. It emitted a terrifying light and blocked the sound waves of the Blue Tide. Brat, you should be proud of yourself for forcing me to use my bloodline phantom even if you die. The Golden Crow race's small saint stood in the void, emitting a terrifying aura. The Golden Crow shadow, the Wuxiang old ancestor's bloodline fragment that was left in his bloodline, was activated by her. Golden Crow roar. The shadow behind him looked up to the sky and let out a loud scream. The void shattered. Even the faces of the 2 little saints in the distance changed. It was too terrifying. Fortunately, the Golden Crow race's small saint's cultivation base was suppressed. Otherwise, the 2 of them would be severely injured. This was an extremely powerful soul attack. This time that kid will definitely die. 5th update, Collapse. Chapter 3755. Buzz Lin Xian's eyes turned golden with mysterious runes revolving around them. At the same time, a pair of golden eyes appeared in the sky behind him. It was like a deity with a terrifying power. What's that? The 2 minor saints were shocked and could not believe their eyes. That pair of eyes was too terrifying. As soon as the golden eyes appeared, they were like the eyes of a deity, illuminating the 9 heavens and 10 earth. It collided with the roar of the Golden Crow. In the sky, a huge Golden Crow phantom collided with the eyes of a deity, producing a violent screech. The deity's eyes emitted a terrifying golden light that pierced through the Golden Crow phantom. With a wail, the Golden Crow turned into energy and exploded. The Golden Crow small saint took 2 steps back and spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was full of shock. This is impossible. How can you break my ultimate skill? Nothing is impossible. It's time for me to send you on your way. Lin Xian snorted and a black spear appeared in his hand. The great spear of destruction was incomparably black, as if it could devour one's soul. Kill. He was like a peerless barbarian king. The great spear of destruction danced in the air, tearing the heavens and earth apart. Although they were both saint weapons, the great spear of destruction and the unparalleled sword were different. At least, the aura on them was completely different. The black spear carried boundless killing intent that made one's scalp numb. Puff with one strike, half of the Golden Crow small saint's body was destroyed. At the same time, half of the heavens and earth were shattered. Damn it! How can he be so strong? The Golden Crow small saint's face became incomparably ugly. He quickly retreated and his body healed quickly. Previously he was still arrogant and thought that he could defeat his opponent at the same level. Now, it seemed that even if his cultivation level was higher than his opponent's, he might not be able to defeat him. Damn it! The Golden Crow small saint gritted his teeth. He did not bring any saint weapons with him because he felt that he did not need them. However, there was still a saint weapon here. It was left behind in the demon city and he had snatched it away by force. Asterisk clang asterisk in the next strike he blocked the black spear. When the two collided, a clanging sound was heard, shattering the 9 heavens and 10 earth. Lin Xian's expression was cold as he continued to attack. He was like a black dragon that swooped down. The Golden Crow small sage tried his best to defend himself. However, he was still pushed back. Eventually, the long sword in his hand was knocked away and one of his arms was chopped off. Damn it, what is this black spear? Why did it feel even more terrifying than the unparalleled sword? In the distance, the two mysterious little saints felt their scalps go numb because they felt that the aura of the Saint Qi was too unusual. At this moment, Lin Xian was truly like a killing saint, attacking powerfully. The Golden Crow small sage was also enraged. He ignited his own bloodline and wanted to break through his limit to fight against the other party. His strength had increased once again, and it seemed like he was about to break through to the 5th heavenly layer. He soared into the sky and battled Lin Xian. The two collide. The endless void shattered, as if suns were being split apart one after another. That scene was simply too terrifying. Saint blood splattered everywhere as golden feathers fell from the sky. They all belonged to the Golden Crow small saint. Lin Xian was also injured. There was blood at the corner of his mouth. One had to admit that the Golden Crow small sage was extremely terrifying when he went berserk. However, the other party would definitely die this time. Kill. Those feathers that fell off kept burning and turned into flaming divine swords that flew towards Lin Xian. The entire sky was set ablaze. The long spear, stellar transposition, turned the divine feathers around and attacked the Golden Crow small sage. Lin Xian also used all his abilities to fight against the Golden Crow small sage. The long spear pierced through the Golden Crow small sage's body and one of his hands grabbed one of the Golden Crow small sage's wings. At the same time he gave up the Great Destruction Spear and attacked with his other hand. Damn it, how dare you! The Golden Crow small sage was terrified. He did not want to let the other party grab his wings. If that happened he would not be able to break free. However, the other hand grabbed his wings too. Lin Xian roared towards the sky like a peerless overlord. With a single strike, the Golden Crow small saint, the living holy saint, was torn into two. Sacred blood splattered on the ground, causing the ground to sink and the void to shatter. The two halves of the Golden Crow small sage's body struggled, trying to heal itself. However, Lin Xian spat out endless dragon-shaped sword qi, shattering the wounds. The sword qi was so strong that the Golden Crow small sage could not heal himself in a short period of time. Was he torn apart? The two mysterious small saints were dumbfounded. That was the Golden Crow small sage. How terrifying was that? Even if the two of them joined forces, they might not be able to withstand it. Now the Golden Crow small sage was torn into half by the other party. Was this young man already terrifying to such an extent? No. I am immortal and indestructible. The Golden Crow small sage could not heal himself, but mysterious runes appeared in his blood again. This was the power of his blood. He summoned the old ancestor's shadow and managed to merge the two halves of his body together. You can't kill me. I'm not comparable to those trash. The Golden Crow small sage stood in the void, his expression extremely cold. I never thought that I would reach this stage. However, I will definitely kill you. Old ancestor, please descend. The blood of the Golden Crow small sage turned into terrifying laws and scattered between the heavens and earth. It seemed like he was performing some kind of ancient ritual. As expected, half of the blood in his body flowed out and constructed a golden altar. The aura became even more majestic. Above the 9 heavens, a beam of light tore open the void. It seemed like a mysterious figure was about to descend. It was a summoning technique. Lin Xian was shocked. He used to be able to summon the ancient heroic spirits in the heavens and earth. It seemed like the Golden Crow small sage was going to summon his old ancestor. He would not let the other party succeed. The great spear of destruction shot out a giant black sword qi that soared into the sky, trying to tear the Golden Crow's shadow apart. However, there was a mysterious power that stopped it. It's useless. The Golden Crow small sage's expression was cold. You can't break it. Just you wait. When I have the strongest power, I will torture you to death. You have said this before, but you don't have the strength to do it. Do you think you can do it with the strength of your old ancestor? Too naive. I don't care if you are an ancestor or a junior. I will annihilate your Golden Crow clan. Lin Xian snorted coldly. A green sword shadow rushed out from his body and slashed forward. It's useless. The Golden Crow small sage disdained. Even if another small saint wielded a saint artifact, they wouldn't be able to break the shadow I summoned. Unless a heavenly sovereign came. Sword light flashed, splitting the void in half. An extremely angry roar sounded, as if it had transcended space and time. How is this possible? The Golden Crow small sage was dumbfounded. He discovered that the shadow he summoned was split in half. Damn it, how is this possible? He was dumbfounded. He had just said that not even a small saint could do it. How could a third heavenly realm true saint do it? Bus. The cyan dragon-shaped sword shadow attacked a few more times and completely destroyed the ancestor's phantom. The golden light that filled the sky disappeared. The golden blood of the Golden Crow small sage was completely burned. Damn it, how could it fail? He had completely lost his mind. He had used half of his saint fate to summon the shadow, but it disappeared without a trace before it could display its power. Chapter 3756. Run. The Golden Crow small sage quickly ran away. He had no choice. He had already summoned his strongest ability, but he still couldn't defeat his opponent. Unless he regained his small saint cultivation, he wouldn't be able to defeat his opponent. How could Lin Xian possibly let the other party escape? He quickly charged towards the other party. His attacks were bold, and his strength was getting stronger and stronger. The two of them fought fiercely. In the end, the Golden Crow small sage exploded several times. Finally, his soul was destroyed. There were also several cracks on Lin Xian's body. They were caused by his opponent's counterattack. However, they weren't fatal injuries. His body was stained with blood. Some of it belonged to him, but most of it belonged to the Golden Crow small sage. The huge corpse fell on the ground, revealing its true form. It was a demonic beast that was bigger than a palace. There were countless cracks on its body. The crisscrossing of the cracks was shocking. So big. I'll definitely be full this time. Lin Xian smiled. These words were like thunder in the ears of the two mysterious powerhouses, causing them to tremble from head to toe. Run. The two of them roared. One of them exploded his body, shattering the attack of the mind fixation pearl and turned into a stream of light to escape. You want to run? Lin Xian's eyes emitted a terrifying light. The blue sea tide sound wave was sent out. At the same time he stretched out his palm. A huge hand that covered the sky stopped the two of them. The two of them also had their cultivation suppressed. They didn't dare to fight back. They could only dodge quickly. Lin Xian chased after one of them with all his strength. He knew that they couldn't escape. Soon he caught up to that person. The battle continued. His body was torn apart. His soul wanted to escape, but Lin Xian used the death fog to envelop him, directly depriving him of his vitality. I hate you. That person screamed. The black chi on his body disappeared, revealing a pale face. It's you? Lin Xian was stunned. How could it be him? He found that he knew this person. It was the old man from the auction. He's from the Demon Palace. Lin Xian's face was incomparably gloomy. He didn't expect that the last mysterious force would be the Demon Palace. Damn it, what's going on? Why would the Demon Palace attack him? He had never provoked the Demon Palace before. He stared at the last person. Tell me what you know. Why did you come to kill me? I can give you a quick death. If you'll never know. The last little saint's face was extremely cold. Suddenly, a wisp of piercingly cold killing intent erupted from his eyes. Explode. That guy actually detonated that saint artifact. A terrifying rumbling sound rang out, and the array fluctuated. Finally, a crack was torn open. The little saint's face lit up with joy as he prepared to leave. Not good. Lin Xian's face darkened. He didn't expect the other party to have such a trick up his sleeve. If the other party were to escape, it would be troublesome. His secret would be exposed. He was afraid that there would be even more experts coming to kill him. Today he was able to set up this trap because he had the initiative. Next time these people would not be trapped so easily. Just the thought of being hunted down by a dozen little saints was enough to give him a headache. Therefore he would never let the other party leave. Where are you going? Lin Xian roared. The great dragon sword soul rushed out of his body, turned into a stream of light and flew straight into the sky. The little saint felt the terror. He didn't dare to face it head-on and quickly fled. However, the power of the great dragon sword soul was too strong. The terrifying sword light shrouded him. Get lost. The little saint roared. He felt that his cultivation base was rapidly recovering. Now, his cultivation base had reached the 5th heavenly layer. Therefore he slapped his palm at the dragon-shaped sword shadow. With a puff, his palm was chopped off and blood gushed out. Damn it, it's not enough. It needs to break even more. The little saint roared crazily. As long as the array was completely destroyed, he would be able to leave completely. Black Mountain. Lin Xian growled. Black Mountain said, "No, the power of the saint artifact is too strong. The array is useless. However, I won't let him escape." As he spoke, he controlled the great sage pagoda and smashed it down. The little saint was wild with joy. Soon he would be able to recover to the little saint realm. However, at this moment, a pagoda fell from the sky. With a boom, it smashed into him. His body fell, clawing through the void. His internal organs were completely shattered. There was not a single part of his body that was intact. No. Damn it, what is this thing? It's a Sun-class saint artifact. He screamed in horror. Indeed, if it was a Moon-class saint artifact, it would not have caused such great damage to him. Damn it, the other party often has such a saint artifact. It's too unbelievable. Why don't you run away? Lin Xian sneered, held the great spear of destruction and rushed forward. The little saint screamed crazily. At the same time, a dragon roar came from the black earth. Lin Xian was overjoyed. The ruffian dragon had come back to life. Sure enough, in the next moment, a light flashed and turned into the shadow of a dragon roaring at the sky. The dragon roar shook the 9 heavens. How is this possible? You're still alive. The little saint was dumbfounded when he saw the dark red dragon. It was too unbelievable. Wasn't the other party dead? Dead my ass. How dare you plot against me? I'll kill you. After the dark red dragon came out, it waved its dragon claw and directly shattered the little saint's head. Then it began to attack crazily. The little saint's cultivation base was suppressed again, so he was in a miserable state at this moment. In the end, he was beaten to death by the dark red dragon many times. Awesome. The dark red dragon roared, its eyes filled with monstrous anger. Obviously, it knew the old man, and it seemed that the hatred between them was not small. Are you all right? And why were you in that box? Lin Xian asked. It was very complicated. Boy, it's all thanks to you that I came back to life. Is the dark red dragon safe here? Lin Xian shook his head. It's not safe. We've just killed 10 little saints. It will probably cause a big commotion. Let's leave this place first. Black Mountain also floated out. The 3 of them discussed for a while and then left. However, before they left, Lin Xian also kept the corpse of the little saint of the Golden Crow clan. He could not waste such a delicious food. From this moment on, the evil devil citadel was destined to not be peaceful. The experts of the Rain clan and the people of Spirit Sealing Star waited together. Humph, that boy should be dead this time, right? That's for sure. We've sent 3 little saints to kill him. How could he still be alive? Finally, a big disaster has been eliminated. A glimmer of hope appeared in Di Ling's eyes. As long as this person was dead, he could continue to live freely in the future. Wuxia also heaved a sigh of relief. Finally, she could avenge her brother. Lei Xinqing and the people of Demon City sneered. Jin Hai of the Golden Crow clan stood outside the mansion. His eyes were cold as he looked down. Although the Golden Crow clan had sent an expert this time, it was enough. He estimated that he could torture that boy to death with a slight lift of his hand. The son of the evil devil citadel. A devilish man who did not look like a human. He sat in the main hall, tapping the void with his finger, sending out rhythmic waves. In front of him stood many experts of the evil devil palace. Young master, don't worry. Our people will definitely bring back the dragon's corpse. Yeah, we didn't expect that dragon to be in the box. Didn't he die in the mist of death? Chapter 3757. Could it be that this is where Lin Wudi lives? Someone finally screamed. No way. That Lin Wudi. Why are there so many small saints here? Are you stupid? They must be here to kill Lin Wudi. But why are they dead? These people were shocked. Could it be that Lin Wudi killed them? That was impossible. Lin Wudi had long been destroyed in body and soul. It's impossible for him to still be alive. I guess it's very likely that it's the dragon in Lin Wudi's hand. That dragon's corpse was coveted by countless people, so these small saints came to fight for it. They might as well kill Lin Wudi while they were at it. But why can't they see the dragon? There was a dragon roar just now. Maybe the dragon is alive. Maybe it was taken away by someone else. Did you guys notice? There doesn't seem to be the corpse of the Golden Crow clan. Suddenly, someone whispered. As soon as these words came out, everyone understood. They searched carefully and indeed didn't find the corpse of the Golden Crow clan. Jianhu's heart was beating wildly. If they didn't find it, then the Golden Crow Small Saint was still alive. Maybe the Golden Crow Small Saint had succeeded. Thinking of this, he was wild with joy. He wanted to sneak away quietly, but soon someone blocked his way. "Where's the expert of the Golden Crow clan? Who did it? Ask him to come out." "That's right. Could it be that he killed our people?" The people of Demon City surrounded him, their faces incomparably gloomy. The people of Thunder God City were the same. For a moment, Jianhu was surrounded by countless eyes. His scalp was about to explode. To be honest, there were so many experts here. If they were really angry at him, he wouldn't be able to withstand it no matter how talented he was. So he quickly said, "Everyone, I don't know what you're talking about. Let me leave quickly. I'm just here to watch the show. I don't know anything about this matter." Everyone sneered. They didn't believe him at all. As for the people of Thunder God City and Demon City, their faces were incomparably ferocious. The Demon Son turned his head and stared at Jianhu. "You'd better tell us the whereabouts of your small saints. We won't hurt you. What we want is the corpse of the dragon. If you don't hand it over, don't blame us for being rude." A cold, killing intent appeared in the eyes of the evil Demon Son. Jianhu felt his scalp go numb. However, he was also enraged. "You dare to touch me? Aren't you afraid that my Golden Crow clan will massacre the Fiend Planet?" When these words came out, everyone felt their scalps go numb. Even the Devil Child's expression changed. Indeed, Jianhu's identity was extraordinary. He was someone from the Golden Crow clan. As for the Golden Crow clan, it was an extremely huge clan. It was abnormally terrifying. If they really angered such a terrifying clan, they would definitely be killed. If they were to truly attack, their Fiend Palace would not be able to contend against them. However, he would not let this matter rest so easily. The Abyssal Demon's Son looked at the people from the 10,000 Demon City, Lei Xinqing, the Spirit Sealing Star, and the Rain Clan. He said, "What do you think?" The people of the Demon City said that during the day, the Golden Crow clan showed that they were determined to win. Now that Jianhu had appeared here, they would not believe that they did not participate in this matter. That's right, that's right. Furthermore, only their Golden Crow clan's corpses were not among the corpses here. This meant that the Golden Crow clan had succeeded in the end. I suggest that we lock up this Golden Sea and wait for the trade with the Golden Crow clan. That's right, I have the same idea. The experts of the Demon City nodded. These two Saint Realm experts were still hostile and wanted to fight before, but now they were facing an outsider. It had to be said that the grudges between Saint Realm experts were too weak. Profit was the most eternal thing. It seemed that this was the only way. In the end, everyone discussed and locked up Jianhu. At the same time, they sent a message to the Golden Crow clan, asking them to bring the dragon's corpse to trade. The faces of the Rain clan and the people of the Spirit Sealing Star were incomparably ugly. Damn it, they really deserved to die. They were not interested in the dragon's corpse at all because they did not need it. They did not have the strength to snatch it. They were only here to kill Lin Xian, but they had lost 3 little saints in the process. It made their hearts bleed. It seemed that the kid was also dead. This was a blessing in disguise. There was no other way. They were involved in the storm. Wuxia, Di Ling, and the others shook their heads and sighed. They felt that they could only accept this loss. From the beginning to the end, they, including everyone, thought that Lin Xian was dead. His body and soul were destroyed, and not even his corpse was left behind. The reason why these little saints had died was because they had killed each other. They wondered what kind of expression they would have if they knew the truth. This matter soon spread out, and the whole heart of Devil was shaken. Countless experts gathered at the evil Demon City. The experts of the Golden Crow clan also changed their faces when they learned that Jianhu was suppressed. How dare he touch the people of the Golden Crow clan? He was courting death. For a moment they also moved out. Firstly, they wanted to save Jianhu. Secondly, they wanted to rescue their minor saints. But after looking around, they did not find any minor saints. This made them feel incredulous. What's going on? Why haven't they come back yet? Could it be that there was an accident? That's impossible. Our little saint must have realized the severity of the situation, so he must have gone into hiding. Don't worry, they will come back to us in 2 days. These experts of the Golden Crow clan discussed for a while and finally nodded slightly. They felt that the most important thing to do right now was to rescue Jianhu. The experts of the Golden Crow clan moved out and began to negotiate with the people of the Demon City, Thunder God City, and the Demon Palace. The others were watching nervously. Gradually the sky brightened. The negotiations between the two sides were very intense. There were a few times when the people of the Golden Crow clan slammed the table and tore the entire hall apart. Between heaven and earth, terrifying murderous intent lingered, and a great battle almost broke out. But in the end they did not fight. The two sides once again had a fierce discussion. It seemed that no one was willing to give in. The people of the Demon City said that they wanted to share the corpses of the dragons equally. On the other hand, the Golden Crow clan said that they did not see any dragons and asked for Jianghu to be released. Both sides could not hold on. It was already noon. At this time the onlookers outside the evil Demon City were shocked. What's the smell that's so fragrant? Yes, I'm really hungry. How is that possible? At our level it's not a problem for us to not eat or drink for 100 years. Damn it, what kind of meat is so fragrant? Indeed, they smelled a fragrance drifting over from afar. I'm drooling. Let's go and take a look. These people followed the fragrance. Even the people from the Golden Crow clan, the 10,000 Demon City, and the others who were negotiating in the main hall were stunned. Where is the fragrance coming from? The people of the Thunder God City and the Demon City swallowed their saliva. The people of the Golden Crow clan were also stunned. But soon their expressions changed. Damn it. Their eyes instantly turned red. Why do I feel the smell of the Golden Crow clan? Today is the 4th chapter, let me take a break. After all, I still have to take the college entrance exam in 2 days. Chapter 3758. Boom. In an instant, they tore apart the palace and came to the 9th heaven. Who dares to tease my Golden Crow tribe here? No one dared to answer. Everyone looked at the sky blankly. Jianghu's face was extremely ugly. He was almost roasted by someone previously. It was this smell that floated out. Now that this smell floated out, didn't this mean that someone was testing the Golden Crow tribe? What? Roasted Golden Crow? It was impossible. The surrounding people were all stunned. The Golden House tribe experts turned into flowing lights and moved freely in the sky. Soon they stopped in a pavilion in the evil Demon City. This was a restaurant that had rare treasures in the world. At this moment, there was a hubbub of voices inside. Everyone was surrounding a huge golden roasted meat and drooling there. It smelled so good. I really wanted to take a bite. However, it was a little too expensive. I can't afford it. Some of the saints were sighing in despair. After the Golden Crow tribe experts arrived and saw the golden roasted meat, their eyes instantly turned red. White smoke came out of their bodies. Go to hell. One of them shouted angrily and slapped out. The palace below was instantly smashed into pieces. Some warriors were even slapped into a bloody mist. The others also ran away crazily. What was going on? Who dared to attack Blackstained Plumes? Who was it? Did they want to die? A few powerful figures rushed out of Blackstained Plumes and suppressed the surroundings. How could those who could open a shop in Evil Demon City be simple? They all had the support of a top force behind them. At this moment those experts rushed out. Who dared to cause trouble in Blackstained Plumes? An expert from the Golden Crow tribe attacked and instantly sent a few experts flying. It was the Golden Crow tribe. Those people were originally angry, but when they saw the Golden Crow expert, their faces instantly changed. Blackstained Plumes has never offended the Golden Crow tribe. They gritted their teeth and said. Although the Golden Crow tribe was strong, they attacked just because of a disagreement. Wasn't that too much of a bully? All of you deserve to die. How dare you test the corpse of our Golden Crow tribe's expert? The Golden Crow tribe expert gritted his teeth and roared. The others were stunned after hearing that. The Blackstained Plumes experts were even more dumbfounded. The corpse of a Golden Crow expert? How was that possible? You must be mistaken. Even if you gave us 100 guts, we wouldn't dare to take the exam. Then what was down there? Oh, that sparrow meat. There was a sparrow that cultivated into a spirit and reached the demon sage level. It was slaughtered by someone, and that person sold a portion of its meat to us. Damn your sparrow meat. The people of the Golden Crow clan were instantly enraged. The flames on their bodies surged and danced, engulfing the 9 heavens. Those experts from Blackstained Plumes were roasted by the flames until they were incomparably miserable. Damn it. Your Golden Crow clan is going too far. Behind us is the Demon Palace. These people roared crazily. True enough. Experts from the Fiend Palace. He also rushed over. Thunder God Cheng, Demon City, Silver Palace, and even the evil demon child were here. When the people from the Demon Palace saw this scene, their expressions all sunk. However, when they found out that what was being roasted below was actually the corpse of a Golden Crow clan elite, they were all stunned. What's going on? Where did the Golden Crow corpse come from? Could it be that person? They recalled that only the Golden Crow tribe Little Saints hadn't discovered the Little Saints that day. Now someone was testing the Golden Crow corpse. Could it be the corpse of a Golden Crow clan Little Saint? When they thought of this possibility, their scalps went numb. The experts of Blackstone Plumes were on the verge of tears. They kept explaining that it was really sparrow meat. It was sold to us by a young man. If you don't believe me, you can go and ask. Many people have seen it. The matter here caused an uproar. The experts of the Golden Crow clan were completely enraged. They snatched back the golden roasted meat and then killed the experts of Blackstone Plumes. In the end, they even fought a great battle with the Demon Palace. It could be said that the scene was very chaotic. At the same time, the instigators, namely Lin Xian and the others, had already left the Demon Palace and came to the mountain range. They formed a formation to conceal the heavenly secrets. Then they began to roast the Golden Crow meat. Lin Xian took out all kinds of spirit wine and chatted with the dark red divine dragon while waiting. Black Mountain swallowed his saliva. Damn it! Why am I a soul? If I had a body, I would eat more. Black Mountain kept circling around the Golden Crow. The Golden Crow's body was really too big. At this moment, it was being roasted by the Nine Suns' divine flame. The fragrance was very strong. Lin Xian tore a piece of meat and put it in his mouth. Then he drank another mouthful of spirit wine. The dark red divine dragon also buried its head in the food. The two of them ate less than half of the meat and couldn't eat any more. Because this Golden Crow was a little saint. The energy contained in its body was really too terrifying. They ate so much that their bodies were about to explode. The two of them quickly refined the meat and burped. 2 days later they patted their stomachs. Lin Xian asked, "Ruffian dragon, you can tell me now." The dark red divine dragon told him what had happened. After listening, Lin Xian frowned and became nervous. It turned out that the dark red divine dragon and the northern demon were indeed brought to the Fiend planet and then controlled by the people of the Demon Palace. Because the northern demon was discovered, his myriad demon body was taken away. No one knew where it was. Because the dark red divine dragon had a special body and was a dragon, it was arranged to go to the void ocean to retrieve the ancient treasure box. The dark red divine dragon resisted, but there were too many experts on the Fiend planet, and there were also little saints suppressing it. It was not a match at all, so it could only go. Needless to say, it suffered a lot during this period. In the end, it encountered an accident in the void ocean and was eroded by the death fog. Therefore, at the critical moment, it ate the thing in the treasure box and then hid inside. After that, it lost consciousness. It was only until Lin Xian used the Eye of Time to save it. "What did you eat? Why did it lose its vitality?" Lin Xian asked. The dark red divine dragon complained. "Damn it, don't mention it. I was tricked. I ate a kind of black fruit. I thought that since it was sealed in the treasure box, it must be a natural treasure that was passed down from ancient times. Who would have thought that the fruit was definitely expired? It actually killed me?" Lin Xian was baffled when he heard that, but the corners of Guixin's mouth twitched. "What kind of thing did you eat?" "It's called a nirvana fruit. After eating one, your vitality will drop and you will enter a state of suspended animation. It's like nirvana rebirth. When you wake up again, your strength will increase. That kind of thing is very precious, and even if you get it, you won't dare to eat it. Even a little saint wouldn't dare to eat it like you did. That box of yours is so big and there should be at least a few hundred of them. You actually ate them all. If you don't die, who will?" The dark red divine dragon was speechless. "Damn, how would I know what kind of fruit has such an effect?" Lin Xian was also shocked. "No wonder. Nirvana rebirth. Ruffian dragon, didn't you realize that your strength increased greatly after you came back to life?" Chapter 3759. And now that you mention it, it's true. The dark red dragon was surprised. Back then he was only a first heaven saint. His strength was far inferior to Lin Xian's. But now he had beaten up a little saint after coming back to life. Although that little saint's cultivation base had been suppressed, he was still not someone that any saint could contend against. This showed that Ruffian Long's strength had advanced by leaps and bounds. Could this be considered a blessing in disguise? Ruffian Long felt that his current cultivation base was at the 5th heaven. He was 2 heavens higher than Lin Xian. He was very proud of himself. "Haha boy, I've surpassed you. Come, let's fight for 300 rounds. Alright, stop messing around. I'm not in the mood. Where's the northern monster? If the northern monster didn't go to the sea, where did he go?" Lin Xian was very worried. Hearing this, the dark red dragon sighed again. I don't know. But during this period I heard some news. It seems that the northern monster is trapped in the place where the devil child lives. Is it the devil child again? Lin Xian's face was gloomy. He now realized that this matter was definitely related to the demon palace. No wonder they sent a little saint here to silence me. It seems that they don't want the news to leak out. I can't let this devil child go. The dark red dragon gnashed his teeth in anger. Lin Xian's eyes also emitted a cold killing intent. Let's do something big then. After all, we're on the demon planet now. Moreover, those people probably think that I've been killed. Boy, what do you want to do? The dark red dragon asked. Lin Xian said, let's do it and throw the blame to others. When the time comes, we'll sit on top of the mountain and watch the tigers fight. The dark red dragon nodded. Indeed, with their strength it was not difficult to kill the devil child. Of course, the devil child was a huge monster in the demon palace. Once it erupted, it would be very difficult for them to deal with it. After all, this was the devil child's nest. Therefore, it would be even better if they could avoid any repercussions after killing the devil child. It seemed that Lin Xian had a plan. Who are you going to push the blame to? Dark Red Dragon God, we still don't know who Lin Xian's enemies are. Lin Xian said. There were too many enemies and it was hard to choose. The Dark Red Divine Dragon was speechless. This brat really knew how to provoke others. Originally he wanted to give it to the Golden Crow or the Thunder God, but after thinking about it, it wasn't safe. After all, this was a holy city. If the demon palace were to admit defeat, then it wouldn't be good. I'm prepared to throw it to the Rain Clan and Winchim Star. At this point, the killing intent in Lin Xian's eyes intensified. Lin Xian didn't have any good impression of the Rain Clan. He had to eliminate them. This was because the Rain Clan had tried to kill him more than once. They had even sent little saints to kill him many times. Therefore, if there was a chance, he didn't mind tricking the other party. But what could he do? We have to call out the demon child alone. Otherwise, there will be too many experts around him and we won't be able to make a move. He had to find the North Demon first. Don't worry, we'll go and find out. Lin Xian said. Didn't he imprison you? Fine, let's go there now as dragons. Let's see if he still dares to imprison us. The Dark Red Divine Dragon was originally a dragon. Therefore, after he transformed into his human form, his body emitted a monstrous dragon aura. With a single glance, one could tell that he was a heaven's pride. Although Lin Xian was a human, he had the great dragon sword soul in his body. By releasing a bit of the dragon soul aura, he also looked like a dragon expert. Moreover, Lin Xian also changed his appearance, turning into a very mighty man. The two looked at each other and smiled. After that, Lin Xian put away the remaining golden crow meat. They walked out of the mountain range with large strides, flying toward the evil demon city. The evil demon city was very chaotic at this moment. Previously, the experts of the demon palace and the golden crow race were fighting fiercely, sweeping through all directions. The people of the demon palace couldn't hold on at all. That was because the experts of the golden crow race were too strong. One of them could sweep through several people. But fortunately, this was their base camp. Very soon, even more experts arrived and confronted the experts of the Golden Crow tribe. In the end, both sides didn't continue fighting. However, the atmosphere seemed to be really bad. At the same time, they were gnashing their teeth in anger. Who was it that killed the Golden Crow? Was it the little saint they were looking for? At this moment, they were all anxious. They found the young man who sold the Golden Crow meat and interrogated him. However, they couldn't find him even after searching the entire evil demon city. Damn it, could it be that he had stolen it? They issued an arrest warrant and searched the entire evil demon planet. They didn't believe that they couldn't find him. For a moment, a storm swept through. All kinds of experts were dispatched. At the same time, two figures descended on the evil demon city. After they arrived, they didn't descend. Instead, they stood above the evil demon city. Their eyes were cold. One of them shouted coldly, "Where are the people of the demon palace? Get out here." The roar reverberated through the 9 heavens. Everyone in the evil demon city heard it and raised their heads to look. Who is this? How dare he shout at the evil demon city? Could it be that the experts of the Golden Crow race have come again? Perhaps only the experts of the Golden Crow race would dare to be so arrogant. Everyone looked over. However, they discovered that it wasn't the people of the Golden Crow race. Instead, it was two people they had never seen before. Who are they? Are they trying to overturn the heavens? One figure after another rushed out. The people of the demon palace were even more furious. Do you want to die? They were originally very depressed. Their secret had been discovered by others. Moreover, they had fought with the Golden Crow race earlier. Could be said that they were very displeased. At this moment there were actually people shouting at them. Did they really think that their demon palace was easy to bully? Two silhouettes rushed forward. Die for me. Those two people unleashed terrifying laws. However, they were instantly slapped to the ground. The ground was overturned and the void shattered. This shocked everyone. These two people were very powerful. They easily defeated the people of the demon palace. The people of the demon palace were also furious. More and more people came out. Among them there were even many elders leading the way. An elder shouted coldly, "Who are you? How dare you cause trouble in my demon palace?" Below them, people from Thunder God City, Thousand Fiend City, White Cloud Apartments, Chuefeng, Ling Xin, and the others were also watching. Even the people of the Golden Crow race had appeared. They thought that the experts of their race had come. Since you dared to cause trouble in our demon palace, you'd best give us an explanation. Otherwise you'd better kneel down and kowtow. Otherwise you'll die without an intact corpse. The people of the demon palace spoke coldly. Everyone felt their scalps go numb. The demon palace was the local tyrant here. They were extremely terrifying. Didn't they see that even the Golden Crow race didn't gain any advantage over them? We are the people of the dragons. One of them spoke coldly. What? Do you want to attack us? You'd better think about the consequences. What? The people of the dragons? Everyone was stupefied. The demon palace was a powerful race that wasn't any weaker than the Golden Crow race. In fact, they were even more powerful. After all, the dragons were the leaders of the 10,000 beasts. There was even the Dragon Emperor. The demon palace was an emperor race of the 10,000 ancient races. Chapter 3760. Now that people from the dragons had come, what were they doing here? Why did they attack the Fiend Palace? Was it because of the corpse of the dragons? Everyone was in an uproar. Below them, the experts from Lightning God City and Myriad Fiend City were also shocked. The expressions of the Fiend Palace's experts changed. Experts from the dragons? Damn it, what's going on? Why did they come here? Could it be that the news was leaked? Are you really an expert from the Dragon Ball? Some people still didn't believe it. The other young man roared. His dragon roar resounded throughout the 9 heavens and 10 earths. At this moment, everyone's souls trembled. The pupils of those with bloodline power shrank. This was especially true for the people from Myriad Fiend City. Their bodies were shivering. Bloodline suppression. Moreover, it was fear that came from the depths of their souls. This was a fear that came from the soul. It was something that couldn't be dispelled. It was something that had existed since ancient times. They were really dragons. The fiend sages sucked in a breath of cold air. They quickly operated their power laws to suppress this fear. The expressions of the Fiend Palace's people changed greatly. Now they were sure that the other party was a dragon. I wonder why fellow Taoists from the dragons have come here? The Fiend Palace's elder asked respectfully. The two figures in the sky emitted an extremely powerful aura of the Tao of dragons. They were like peerless experts. They were precisely Lin Xian and the dark red divine dragon. Lin Xian asked coldly. You actually dare to ask me what's going on? Do I still need to tell you what your Fiend Palace has done? Obediently admit to your crimes. Otherwise, what awaits you is the fury of the dragons. Can your Fiend Palace bear the consequences? Once those words were spoken, everyone was stunned. Oh my God, what's going on? What kind of heartless thing did the Fiend Palace do? First, they provoked the Golden Crow. Now they provoked the dragons? They were all extremely terrifying existences. If they weren't careful, not to mention the Fiend Palace, even the Fiend Planet would be destroyed. The Fiend Palace's people were sweating profusely. That elder wiped the sweat from his forehead and laughed dryly. Fellow Taoist, you must be joking. We really don't know what's going on. You won't shed tears until you see the coffin, right? Fine, then let me remind you. Previously, didn't the corpse of a dragon's expert appear here? Everyone was in an uproar when they heard this. It seemed that they had indeed come because of this. The Demon Palace's people had no way to quibble. At that time, countless eyes had seen it, and there had been a robbery earlier. Thus, they could only brace themselves and nod. That's right, there was such a thing. Then where is the corpse now? The corpses of us dragons are naturally noble. Even if we die, we have to be buried in the 9 heavens for all beasts to worship. Now hand it over and we'll take it. This. The Demon Palace's people were speechless. They also wanted to search for it, but they didn't know where it was. Old Zhang also said that the corpse of the dragons had already been auctioned off. You've got guts. Lin Xian roared. You dare to auction off the corpses of our dragons? Did he not want to live anymore? The dark red dragon let out a roar. The frightening sound waves caused the people from the Fiend Palace to sway back and forth. Those who were weaker directly vomited blood. Damn it, they had gone too far. The Demon Palace's people finally couldn't bear it anymore and decided to stake it all against them. Some people wanted to make a move, but the dark red dragon killed 2 people with a slap. A frightening bloody mist filled the sky. His frightening aura burst forth. If anyone dares to make a move, I, the Emperor, will slap them to death. He was too domineering. He directly made a move without caring about the consequences. Was this the strength of the dragons? The crowd looked at the sky with incomparable envy. When would they be able to have such a graceful bearing? What about the demon child? Tell him to come out and accept his punishment in front of us. Lin Xian spoke coldly once again. He stood with his hands clasped behind his back and looked around disdainfully. Everyone was in an uproar. Was he going to make a move against the Demon Palace this time? He didn't even want to let off the demon child. The Demon Palace's people also frowned. Among them, the elder's complexion also sank. Our demon child has been in seclusion recently, and he won't appear for 3 to 5 years. Your Excellency, if you have something to say, you should tell us. Who do you think you are? Do you have the qualifications to speak to me? Lin Xian sneered. He, the demon child, secretly trapped the geniuses of our dragons. Did he think that no one knew about this matter? It would be best for him to obediently roll over here, kneel down and kowtow. Otherwise, when we make a move, I'm afraid that it won't be as simple as kowtowing and admitting his guilt. The crowd went crazy. They were going to make an example out of the demon child. The eyelids of the Demon Palace's elders twitched violently. The elder at the front clenched his teeth and said, Your Excellency, what an arrogant tone. If you want to see the demon child, you'll have to pass through me first. Who do you think you are? Lin Xian sneered once again and sent out a palm strike. He was courting death. Old Zhang was also furious. So what if the other party was a dragon's expert? Their demon palace had run amok on the demon planet for many years, and no one dared to provoke them. Even if the holy city's people came, they would at most be on equal footing with them. But now, someone was actually looking down on them with an aloof attitude. How could they endure this? The elder shouted angrily and opened his mouth to spit out a terrifying black storm that swept through the 9 heavens. Lin Xian wasn't afraid at all. At this moment, his fist transformed into a huge dragon that danced in the sky and tore apart the black storm. Not only that, but his fist also landed on old Zhang's body. The elder was sent flying. With a bang, half of old Zhang's body exploded. The surrounding people were so scared that they pissed their pants. This was too terrifying. Had the dragon's experts already reached such a terrifying level? That elder's face was also filled with fear. He screamed in pain. In the next moment he was scared out of his wits. That was because he discovered that Lin Xian's fist was flying toward him again. No! He screamed as he flew into the distance. However, he was still hit. With a bang, the other half of his body exploded into a bloody mist. I'll give you 10 seconds to get the demon child here. Otherwise, your demon palace will be exterminated. Despair filled the faces of the demon palace's people. Normally, they were lofty existences that could dictate the life and death of others. But now, there was someone who could dictate their life and death. Bus, bus. In just 2 or 3 seconds, the void split open and countless figures descended. Among them there were 4 minor saints. Their strength was extremely terrifying, and they could suppress a part of the world. The people of the demon palace regained their confidence. Great. Their minor saint had arrived. Elders, let's kill him together. These people screamed crazily. So what if these 2 dragons were strong? Could it be that they could defeat a minor saint? Lin Xian sneered. You want to kill us? Sure, go ahead. We're just 2 young geniuses of the dragons. If you dare to touch us, you'll have to suffer the wrath of the dragons. No one dared to doubt his words. The dragons were so strong that even the Golden Crow race didn't dare to contend against them. That minor saint also laughed. Young master, you must be joking. How can we attack you? You're an important guest. Why don't you come to our demon palace and have a talk? I think this should be a misunderstanding that we should resolve. Chapter 3761. Originally, they were supreme existences in the world that everyone could only look up to. But now, these minor saints were actually trying to curry favor with the dragons. Everyone realized that the dragons were extremely terrifying existences that were far beyond their imagination. Lin Xian stood there with his hands clasped behind his back, not moving at all. He didn't even pay attention to the minor saint. The dark red dragon was also standing at the side with a cold smile on his face. The atmosphere was incomparably awkward. A trace of coldness appeared in the minor saint's eyes. No one had ever dared to treat him like this. However, that killing intent soon disappeared. Another 5 or 6 seconds later, a figure walked over from afar. It was the demon's son. After he arrived, he acted as if nothing had happened and laughed heartily. It was an honor to hear that the genius of the dragons had come. "Two fellow Taoists, please. I've prepared the best banquet to welcome the two of you," the elder at the side hastily said. "This is our demon's son. Fuck, it's him. I really want to kill him." The dragon chi on the dark red dragon's body erupted in an instant. A terrifying aura swept across the 9 heavens and 10 earths, causing everyone to be alarmed. The people of the demon palace were also shocked. They were afraid that the other party would suddenly attack. Lin Xian was also shocked. He transmitted his voice, "Don't get too excited. It's not the time to attack yet. Let's find the northern demon first." The dark red dragon nodded. He suppressed his killing intent and didn't attack. The people of the demon palace heaved a sigh of relief. The demon's son also said again, "Two fellow Taoists, please." They flew toward the distance and soon entered the demon's son's palace. After they left, the crowd was in an uproar. It was really eye-opening. The dragons were actually so powerful. It was too shocking. They didn't know if the demon palace could avoid this storm this time. Even the people of Myriad Demon City and Lei Shincheng were shocked. In short, this storm swept across for 9 days. On the other side, in the demon palace's palace, the demon's son personally invited Lin Xian and the dark red dragon to a banquet. It seemed like he wanted to establish a good relationship with them. During this time, Lin Xian also raised the issue of the dragon's corpses. The demon's son expressed that he would personally deliver them when he found them. Next, Lin Xian and Yi Zichen stayed in the palace. They did this to get close to the devil child and investigate the northern devil child. In the other palaces, the evil demon child and a group of experts from the evil demon palace had gathered together. Damn it, how did the dragons get the news so quickly? There was no longer a smile on the devil child's face. His face was extremely cold. "Young master, should we kill them? Anyway, they are in our territory now. I think we can kill them in an instant," a little saint said coldly. However, the devil child shook his head. No, he couldn't fight here. Everyone saw that they went to the demon palace. If something happens to him here, we won't be able to escape responsibility. At that time, the dragons will attack and we will be finished. Don't forget, that's an emperor clan. If a peerless expert from the dragons really jumped out, no one would be able to stop him. What should he do? Should he just let them continue investigating? Things would be exposed. Those elders felt uneasy. "Don't worry," the devil child sneered. "These two are strong and have a special identity. However, if they want to investigate here, they still have to rely on us. If we don't give them any information, they won't be able to find anything. So, we should agree on the surface and stop them secretly. When the time comes, we will find a reason to delay them. After a long time, they will naturally leave. During this period, we will treat them with the highest respect. The dragons won't be able to find any fault with us. Alright, let's do as the young master said." The people of the evil demon palace heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that this was the only way. On the other side, Lin Xian and the dark red divine dragon were also discussing. They entered the black earth and set up a formation to isolate themselves from the outside world. After discussing for a while, they agreed to let Heishan go out and search. Heishan was the remnant soul of the great sage. Even if there were many little saints here, they probably wouldn't be able to find Heishan. In the next few days, Lin Xian and the dark red divine dragon began to deal with the devil child's banquets. Heishan was patrolling quickly. However, after searching the entire palace several times, he didn't find any news about the northern demon. This made the dark red divine dragon and Lin Xian frown. Could it be that the northern demon was brought to the headquarters of the evil demon palace? If that was the case, it would be troublesome. Where was the evil demon overlord? He was a terrifying existence that was about to become a sage king. No, the dark red divine dragon shook his head. He should be here. The devil child obviously attached great importance to the northern demon. It was unknown why he brought the northern demon with him, but he definitely wouldn't send him to the headquarters. Hearing this, Lin Xian said, "Then let's continue to search." That guy will eventually reveal a flaw. Next, Heishan changed his strategy and began to secretly follow the devil child. About 10 days later, they finally found the devil child's secret. On this day, the devil child began to enter seclusion. He actually took out a simple black mirror and walked into it. Heishan retreated. Kid, I found him. That guy entered an ancient mirror. I guess that it should be a small independent space. The person you are looking for might be inside. An independent space? Lin Xian and the dark red divine dragon's expression became solemn. Since they found the place, it would be easy to handle. Isn't it just a mirror? They just had to steal it. Next, it was Whitey's turn. Everyone was waiting for an opportunity. When the devil child wasn't cultivating and was with Lin Xian and the others, Whitey would secretly make a move. The cornucopia directly took the black mirror from a distance. Heishan was waiting in the dark. As soon as Whitey took the mirror, Heishan immediately set up a formation, isolating everything. On the other side, the devil child was originally talking with Lin Xian and the dark red divine dragon, wanting to further resolve the misunderstanding. Suddenly he was stunned. The next moment he roared crazily. With a roar, the roof of the palace was blown away. A terrifying aura shattered the sky. What's going on? What happened? The people of the evil demon palace outside were stunned. Even those minor saints instantly rushed into the palace, each of them emitting a baleful aura. They thought that the experts of Dragon Ball had made a move. They even wanted to make a move on Lin Xian and the dark red divine dragon. Lin Xian stood up and shouted coldly. Impudent! You dare to make a move on me? Do you want to die? The evil demon child quickly added. Don't be impulsive. Everyone stop. Don't misunderstand. It's not these two who made a move. Those minor saints were also stunned. The elders of the evil demon palace also looked over and asked, Young master, what's going on? They were really worried that the dragons would make a move. The devil child said, We'll talk about it when we get back. He looked at Lin Xian and said, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling well. I'll come back another day. Lin Xian knew that it should be Whitey's doing. So he said with a smile, all right. Brother Devil should take care of your body first. The devil child quickly left with his people. When he returned to his palace, the devil child's face was completely gloomy. Chapter 3762. My ancient black abyss mirror has been stolen by someone. Quickly seal the palace and the evil devil palace. Don't let that person escape. What? How could there be such a thing? The people of the evil devil palace were stunned when they heard the news. The ancient black abyss mirror was the personal saint tool of the evil devil's son. Moreover, it was the independent small world where the evil devil's son cultivated. How could it be stolen? Could it be that those two people from the dragon clan had done it? Asked a minor saint. The evil devil's son shook his head. Impossible. I was so close to them. I should have been able to detect it. Moreover, the ancient black abyss mirror is inextricably linked to me. Even if it was stolen, I would still be able to sense it. But now the connection has been cut off. Obviously, it was done by someone who was at least a minor saint. Therefore, it was impossible for it to be done by those two. I suspect that it might be the people of the Golden Crow clan. Go and investigate it. You must get it back. The evil devil's son was mad with anger. That was the space where he cultivated. There were countless heavenly treasures inside. Most of his cultivation resources were inside. No one had ever been able to steal them. Moreover, no one dared to do anything to him. But now, his cultivation lair had actually been stolen by someone. Moreover, it was done without anyone noticing. Who was the culprit? Could it be that there was an extremely terrifying super expert hiding in the dark? The evil devil's son felt restless when he thought of this. However, when he thought that this was his territory, he felt relieved. Even the holy city didn't dare to do anything to him here. Therefore, he regained his ferocious expression and ordered a thorough investigation. Once the culprit was caught, he would tear him into pieces. The evil devil palace was in chaos again. Those cultivators cried out in alarm. What was going on? What had happened to the evil devil palace? Damn it, this was really an eventful period. Everyone shrunk their necks, not daring to wander around. The evil devil palace was like a mad dog now. It was said that they had set their eyes on many major powers and were investigating them secretly. They had even angered the experts of the Golden Crow clan. In the end, 2 minor saints of the evil devil palace left with injuries. Every day there would be new news. Every day there would be a great battle between experts. It could be said that the evil devil palace had become an extremely terrifying battlefield. The slightest carelessness would cause one to be killed mercilessly. Everyone was trying to figure out what was going on. Some powerful factions had finally found out that the fiend child had dropped a very important treasure. Now they were going all out to investigate it. What is this demon child doing? Lei Chang's people in Thunder God City frowned. They were extremely dissatisfied. They had actually been investigated as well. On the other side, the people from the demon city, such as the 100-eyed demon sage and the others, were even more gloomy. If this wasn't the territory of the other party, and if they weren't afraid of the demon son's father, they would have already attacked. Wuxia Di Ling and the others were even more shocked. Over the past few days, the terrifying auras of the powerful sages had directly impacted their nerves. Especially the Imperial Mausoleum. Previously he had thought that he was a peerless genius who looked down on everything. But now everyone was stronger than him. In particular, Shuiyu, Lei Chong, and the 100-eyed demonic sage were even more powerful. As for the Golden Crow tribe, he could only look up to them. Di Ling's face was filled with despair. Originally he thought that after killing Lin Xian, he could regain his confidence and once again climb to the peak of the martial path. But now he realized that even without Lin Wudi, there were still Jin Wudi and Zhang Wudi. In short, there were more and more experts who were stronger than him, trampling him under their feet. The Imperial Mausoleum was about to collapse. Lin Xian and the others were incomparably relaxed. Now, the two of them were directly in the main hall, and there was no interference from the Demon Palace. Although the Demon Palace was guarding outside, they didn't care. During this time, Lin Xian and He Shan set up a formation and then entered the Great Sage Pagoda. The Great Sage Pagoda was an extremely terrifying saint tool. Inside, even minor saints couldn't detect it. Even Saint Venerables couldn't know what was going on inside. It was very safe inside. After entering, Lin Xian asked, "How is it? Did you break it?" He Shan said, "Nonsense. Don't you know who I am? I'm the remnant soul of the Great Sage." It was easy to break the soul imprint of a brat. Moreover, he couldn't detect it. "That's good." Lin Xian smiled. "Let's go in." The dark red dragon couldn't wait any longer. He Shan said, "Just in case." He was an old fox, so he was more thorough. "First, set up an illusory formation and let our phantoms stay outside. In case the people of the Demon Palace investigate, they won't be exposed." Then he set up a transportation formation. "Once the people of the Demon Palace enter, we will immediately teleport out. This way they won't be able to detect us." After He Shan finished setting up the formation, everyone entered the simple mirror. The simple mirror turned into a whirlpool, sucking everyone in. In the next moment, everyone felt the surrounding aura change. This was indeed an independent space. Inside, black qi filled the air, bringing with it a gloomy and cold aura. As expected of the Demon Palace, it was really a place to cultivate evil techniques. Lin Xian looked around and sneered. This place made people feel extremely uncomfortable. Fortunately, they were strong enough to use their own laws to resist the terrifying evil aura. The space was neither big nor small. They couldn't see the end of it. Everyone flew up and quickly flew into the distance. Not long after they flew, black mist filled the air below. A huge black dog rushed up and opened its bloody mouth, wanting to swallow the entire sky. Scram! The dark red divine dragon sent the demon hound flying with a slap. At the same time, Lin Xian looked around. It seemed that there was quite a bit of danger here. The demon child was really cautious. He had set up so many traps in his cultivation place and even raised some terrifying demonic beasts. However, this wasn't a problem. He Shan and the dark red dragon were experts in formations. Lin Xian's attainments in formations were superb. Therefore, the three of them destroyed all the traps along the way. At the same time, the demonic beasts formed by the evil aura were all mercilessly killed by them. Finally, they arrived in front. In front of them, there was a divine tree that emitted a bright light. This was the sky-piercing divine tree. Lin Xian was shocked. He had seen the North Demon use it more than once. However, the sky-piercing divine tree was in a bad condition. A portion of the divine tree's trunk and leaves had turned pitch black. Some of them were almost dyed black. At the roots of the sky-piercing divine tree, there was a figure lying there. It was the North Demon. The dark red dragon exclaimed and turned into a stream of light, instantly rushing over. Lin Xian hurried over as well. As he looked at the ground, his expression turned extremely ugly. It was really the North Demon. The North Demon was lying there like a worm. His face was pale as if he was sleeping. On his back there were roots of the sky-piercing divine tree. Chapter 3763. Damn it. Northern Demon, how are you doing? Lin Xian and the Black Dragon hurriedly squatted down and asked. Black Mountain looked at the heavenly tree, sizing it up as if he was thinking about something. The Northern Demon was too weak. It seemed that his vitality had been sucked dry. Moreover, his body was covered in black qi. Clearly he couldn't wake up now. What's going on? Should we bring him out? The Dark Red Dragon asked. Lin Xian didn't dare to act rashly because he felt that this scene was too strange. What was the demon child trying to do? Did he want to absorb the Northern Demon's strength or occupy the heavenly tree? He looked at Black Mountain and asked, Do you know what's going on? He Shan nodded. He could see that the evil demon child wanted to occupy this heavenly god tree and let it grow in this space. Your friend is not bad. Even this sage is envious of his myriad demon body. Black Mountain's eyes shone brightly. He said, Don't worry, kid. I'm going to save this person. I've decided to take him as my disciple. Really? That's great. Hurry up and tell me how to save him. Lin Xian was overjoyed. Black Mountain was the great sage. If he took Black Mountain as his master, his future would be limitless. Lin Xian also knew that Black Mountain's original body was also a tree demon. He was called Old Demon Black Mountain and was extremely terrifying. He had learned about this from their previous conversation. The Northern Demon had the myriad demon body and also had the heavenly tree. It was probably the Northern Demon's constitution that attracted Black Mountain's love for talent. Black Mountain said, There are 49 formations here. We can't touch them easily. We have to break them in order. Otherwise, my little disciple's life will be in danger. Black Mountain's eyes flickered. Next, he, the Dark Red Dragon, and Lin Xian started to break the formations quickly. During this time, they were teleported out twice because the Demon Palace's people came in. It seemed that the Demon Palace was also suspicious of them. Fortunately, Black Mountain had set up a spatial formation in advance and teleported back instantly. Therefore there were no flaws. When the Demon Palace's people saw that there was nothing suspicious, they retreated. After the Devil Palace's people left, Lin Xian and the others returned to the mirror and continued to break the array formation. Finally, all of the formations were destroyed. Then he dug the Northern Demon out of the ground. His injuries are very serious, and his body is filled with this demonic aura. He will probably only recover after he clears it out. Black Mountain said with a frown. Lin Xian said, Don't worry about it. I can get rid of the devil's tears. He has the great dragon sword spirit, so he can definitely destroy this aura. Alright, then remove the demonic aura. Leave the rest to me. I'll be able to restore it. After that, Lin Xian began to use the great dragon sword soul to help expel the demonic energy from the North Demon's body. This process took a long time, about 10 days. After 10 days, the black aura on the North Demon's body completely disappeared. Black Mountain took action. 5 days later, the Northern Demon finally woke up. He was extremely weak. Brother Lin, it's you. Ruffian Dragon, you're here as well. Northern Demon was shocked. Am I dreaming? These days he had already given up all hope. Now we're here. Lin Xian said, You're still very weak. You'd better recuperate. We'll take revenge for you. Lin Xian left behind a large amount of natural treasures and pills. He wanted the North Demon to recover slowly. He, the Dark Red Divine Dragon, and Black Mountain began to discuss how to take revenge. Of course, it was to kill the Devil Child. The Dark Red Divine Dragon gritted his teeth. It would be best if they could kill the Devil Palace. It's not realistic to kill the Devil Palace. We're not strong enough now, and the Devil Palace has a lot of little saints. However, it's not impossible to kill the Devil Child. At that time we can shift the blame. Lin Xian and the other two discussed carefully and began to set up formations. This included all kinds of concealment formations and teleportation formations. During this time they returned to the ancient mirror and began to search again. Lin Xian laughed. The Dark Red Divine Dragon even circled around the mirror. Damn, he robbed them all. Black Mountain floated over and said, Don't destroy the space here. I can make good use of it. Give the mirror to the North Demon. What do you need the mirror for? Lin Xian was surprised. Black Mountain said, The Devil Child can use his devil aura to change the heavenly tree into the devil tree. Then I can use the heavenly tree to change this place into the land of the demon god. At that time the North Demon and I will cultivate here. It'll be much more comfortable than staying in your pendant. Alright, you can do whatever you want. Lin Xian didn't care about this. The most important thing for him now was to take revenge. They had a lot of resources in their hands. So they only needed time. A few days later, All of the required formations were finally completed. It's time to find the devil child. Lin Xian and the dark red divine dragon came out. What's the matter, young masters of the two dragons? There are people guarding outside. It seems that the devil palace hasn't given up yet. Lin Xian said coldly. I have something to tell the devil child. Go and report it. Young master, please wait. The people of the devil palace went to report it. Not long after, the devil child came. His expression was still somewhat ugly. However, when he saw Lin Xian, he smiled. I wonder what the two of you are looking for me for? Lin Xian said, we're here to bid farewell to you. Bid farewell? What's going on? The devil child was startled. Could it be that the two of you don't want to find the corpses of the dragons? We'll have a clue soon. No need. We've already found a clue. Lin Xian said proudly. He glanced at the devil child and a cold light appeared in his eyes. Although this is your territory, you're not the only ones who can obtain information. We, the dragons, still have some methods. What? Found it? The devil child was startled. I wonder, where did you get the information from? The two of you won't be deceived, right? We found out that the Rain clan and that dragon seem to know each other. So, we're going to investigate. Goodbye. Lin Xian didn't give the devil child a chance to think. The devil child's expression changed. If his secret was discovered, the wrath of the dragons would descend on his head. Therefore he said, this is my territory after all. If the two of you encounter any accident here, I'm afraid it'll be hard for me to explain. How about this, I'll follow the two of you. Wait for me, I'm already in a hurry. You're going to meet a mere Rain clan, yet you're still so careful? What a surprise. There was a trace of disdain in his words. The devil child's expression changed. Since the two of you are in a hurry, let's go. Young master, this old servant will follow you. An old man rushed over from afar and arrived beside the devil child in an instant. Lin Xian was startled. It was a minor saint. The dark red divine dragon wanted to say something, but he was stopped by Lin Xian. He's just a minor saint. If he insisted on saying something, it would arouse the other party's suspicion. The devil child nodded and looked at Lin Xian. Let's go. The four of them soared into the sky and left the palace, flying towards the devil city. Chapter 3764. When they arrived at the residence of the Rain clan, the old man wanted to shout angrily and ask the Rain clan members to come out and greet him. However, Lin Xian stopped him. Doing so would only scare them away. It was better to enter quietly and set up a formation. Don't let them run away. Hearing this, the small saint of the devil palace used a battle technique and sealed the entire residence. Then the group entered. As soon as they entered, Lin Xian instantly took action. He used the great sage pagoda to suck them in. The dark red divine dragon and Heishan set up countless formations and covered the entire residence. Among them were some illusion formations, causing the Rain clan members to not know that they had entered. They also entered the great sage pagoda. At the next moment, the demon child and the old man were shocked. Damn it, you dare to plot against us. They were really shocked. Because they didn't expect that Lin Xian and Heishan would dare to attack them. Although the demon child was angry, he didn't panic. He was a top genius and was very strong. Moreover, he brought a small saint with him this time. How could the two of them defeat him? After Heishan entered, he activated the great sage pagoda. Even if the other party had heaven-defying abilities, they wouldn't be able to spread the news. I finally caught you guys. Lin Xian smiled. The demon child sneered. You guys don't know the difference between life and death. Previously, I gave you guys face because you guys are dragons. But now, you guys actually dare to attack me. Well, if I die here, you guys from the dragons won't be able to find out that it was me. The demon child's voice was sinister. The old man snorted coldly. Two stupid kids, do you think you can contend against a small saint? Seems like you guys still don't know anything. Who told you that I'm from the dragons? Lin Xian took a step forward. The bones in his body changed and crackling sounds could be heard. At the next moment, his real face was restored. Damn brat, it's actually you. The demon child was stunned when he saw the other party. How could it be him? Shouldn't he be killed by now? He was really shocked. That night, the 10 small saints went to kill him. Shouldn't he have turned into ashes long ago? Why are you still here? Damn it, then who is this person? He then looked at the dark red dragon. The dark red divine dragon also transformed into its original form. The divine dragon was baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. It danced in the air and let out a loud dragon roar. What? You don't recognize me? Are you Grandpa Long? It's you. You actually survived. The devil child was stunned once again. This time, even the little saint was flabbergasted. How could they not recognize him? But wasn't he supposed to be dead? Why was he still alive? Damn it, the two of you are in cahoots. At this moment they finally understood. That means my black smoke ancient mirror was also stolen by you guys. Looks like you're not stupid. Tell me, how do you want to die? Lin Xian asked coldly. Just the two of you? You want to kill me? What a joke. I don't know how you managed to survive that pursuit, but you're definitely not a match for a little saint. Kill him. The devil child waved his hand, and the old man walked out with a hideous smile. At first he was worried that the secret would be leaked. But if I kill you here, no one will know our secret. The old man attacked fiercely. His terrifying aura suppressed the 9 heavens and 10 earths. He was a real little saint. Lin Xian and the dark red divine dragon instantly retreated, avoiding the attack. The little saint sneered. Don't run. You can't escape. Run. Who said we're running? We just don't want to be splashed by your blood. Next you'll be crying and begging me. The little saint snorted coldly. He didn't believe that anyone could hurt him. Even if the other party had a little saint, he still wasn't afraid. However, at the next moment, his expression changed because he felt a beam of light flying toward him from the top of his head. The light was so terrifying that it made his hair stand on end. With a bang he was sent flying and half of his body was penetrated. He fell to the ground and kept screaming. Ah, damn it. What's going on? What's that? He was crazy. How could there be something that could injure him so badly in an instant? The devil child was also dumbfounded. How could it be? He wasn't dreaming, right? They looked up and saw a man floating in the sky like a black fog. And there was a man who looked like a fiend god. The surrounding aura was so terrifying that he couldn't bear it. Young master, run. That's an extraordinary sacred tool. The old man's wound quickly healed and his face was full of fear. Lin Xian smiled. Of course it's extraordinary. That's the great sage tool. What do you think? Have you seen its power? The great sage tool. Hearing this, the eyes of the old man and the devil child almost popped out. To be honest, it was too terrifying. The great sage was an existence that was even more terrifying than the sage king. It could sweep through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Basically, no one could see such a person. No one knew if there was such a person in the second astral realm. Why would the other party have such a thing? Damn it. How dare you frame me? The devil child gritted his teeth and roared. My father is the devil overlord. He will soon become the sage king. If you dare to touch me, you will be dead. He will tear you into pieces. What? Are you threatening us? Seems like you are afraid. But your threat is useless. If you die here today, who will know that we are the ones who killed you? Don't worry. We have already thought of who to blame. Also, don't use your father to pressure others. Although your father is only one step away from the Sage King, this step will stop him for thousands of years. Do you believe it? So, it's impossible for your father to come out of seclusion in a short period of time. Lin Xian sneered. He Shan continued to attack. In the sky, He Shan activated the Great Sage tool and the corpse of the Great Sage attacking rapidly. The terrifying speed of light caused the minor saint to be in a miserable state. Every time the minor saint was hit, his body would shatter and he would scream miserably. This kind of torture made him wish he was dead. Obviously, the other party could have killed him with a single strike, but he didn't. Instead, he let him suffer this kind of torture. Wait, young Master Lin, this is a misunderstanding. I think we can resolve it. The devil child was no longer arrogant. He only wanted to beg for mercy and make peace with the other party. How about we write off the grudge between us? Write off the grudge? Lin Xian laughed. Who do you think you are? How dare you write off the grudge with us? You killed 2 of my friends and even tried to kill me? Do you think we can write off the grudge? This devil child is really naive. Does he still think he is high and mighty? Damn brat, don't go too far. If you have the ability, don't use the Great Sage tool. Let's have a fair fight. You are definitely not my opponent. The devil child roared crazily. What? Trying to provoke me? I will fall for it. Ruffian dragon, I will leave this person to you. The dark red divine dragon walked out. Don't worry. I will let him know what it means to be dead. Chapter 3765. The demon child was disdainful. When he caught the dark red divine dragon, it was only a 1st heaven saint while he was a 5th heaven saint. How long had it been? Even if the dark red dragon had broken through, it would be at most a second heaven sage. If he wanted to kill such a person, he could do it with a slap. This was a good opportunity to kill one of them. The eyes of the dark red dragon turned red. He roared angrily, and the demonic aura in his body surged, forming countless black abysses that rushed forward. He attacked with all his strength. He wanted to kill the dark red dragon. The dark red dragon roared, and the dragon blood in its body surged. Every dragon scale seemed to have turned into a peerless blade, making clanging sounds. The void kept collapsing and the dragon aura rushed over. The two collided and the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. However, this was the Great Sage Pagoda. Even if the sky collapsed and the earth cracked, the Great Sage Pagoda would not be damaged at all. Not to mention them, even the Holy Venerables could not be damaged in the slightest. Not even a trace of energy could be transmitted out. Therefore, the people outside had no idea what was happening here. Ah, what demon child. That's all there is to it. Look at your grandpa dragon, I'll beat you up today. The dark red dragon roared and charged over. The dark red dragon was stunned. How was this possible? He did not dare to believe that the other party was not an ant. How could he fight against him? I don't believe it. The dark red dragon roared, and the demonic aura in his hand formed a huge scythe surrounded by terrifying laws. The laws of heaven and earth intertwined and slashed forward. Wherever it passed, the void would quickly shatter. He was confident that he could kill the dark red dragon with this attack. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He had to admit that the dark red dragon was very powerful. It seemed that he was even stronger than Lei Chong. He was indeed a genius. However, he was also confident in Ruffian Long's strength had increased greatly, and he was already a fifth heaven sage. His cultivation was even higher than Lin Xian's. Moreover, he had eaten so many pinching fruits, and with the great magic of dragons, his power was definitely beyond Lin Xian's imagination. Sure enough, the dark red dragon was still not afraid. He swung his tail and sent the huge death scythe flying away. Next he kept attacking. Boom. Suddenly, the dark red divine dragon smashed one of the demon child's legs with a claw. Then, its tail was like a heavenly blade that lashed at the demon child's waist, cutting it in half. The evil demon child let out a blood-curdling screech and counterattacked crazily. The dark red divine dragon was also sent flying. Many of its dragon scales fell off. However, his eyes were also red and he continued to fight. In the end, the demon child couldn't win and could only escape. He wanted to lure the little saint to kill him. That old man was screaming miserably on the ground. However, he didn't die. When he saw the evil demon child's cry for help, he opened his mouth and spat out a ray of light. The great Tao of heaven and earth intertwined on it, as if it was splitting the heavens and earth apart. It quickly charged over. The dark red dragon jumped in fright. Fuck, how shameless. He quickly roared, Black Mountain attack. Black Mountain waved in the sky and struck down at the speed of light, knocking away the light. At the same time he attacked the devil child and the minor saint. It was as if the evil demon child was struck by lightning. His body was torn into pieces. The pain almost made him faint. Damn it, if you have the guts, let's have a fair fight. Bah, I'll spit on your face. You let the little saint fight first and you still say it's fair? The dark red dragon despised him. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Look at you. You were looking down on the other geniuses earlier. I guess all the other geniuses have more backbone than you. Damn it. The evil demon child roared. Black light emerged in his eyes. It was the evil demon eye. This was a kind of soul attack. He burned his bloodline and desperately attacked. He wanted to drag his opponent down even if he had to die. Bus. Lin Xian activated his heavenly secret child prodigy. His golden eyes were like the eyes of a god, looking down and confronting the black evil demon eye. In the void, the soul collision was abnormally fierce and terrifying. Ka. The black evil demon eye shattered. The evil demon child fell to the ground on his back. He covered his eyes, which were bleeding. On my eyes. Damn it, how is it possible? You can actually destroy my eye technique. He was too shocked. Did his opponent have such a terrifying eye technique? Evil demon, you have to go to hell. I'll send you down now. Lin Xian used Spring and Autumn Lock, locking the evil demon child's soul into his illusion world. He activated 10,000 merciless tortures. The dark red dragon was responsible for attacking the opponent's body, breaking all the bones in his body and then destroying them crazily. As for the little saint, Heishan was the one who beat him to death. All kinds of screams were heard. In the end, Lin Xian also locked the little saint in Spring and Autumn reincarnation, making him suffer 10,000 years of torture. In the end, both of their bodies were badly mutilated. Their souls were tortured for 10,000 years, and they died in despair. Refreshing. The dark red dragon let out a long sigh of relief. It was too refreshing. He finally vented the anger in his heart. Lin Xian also said that after dealing with them, it was time to throw the blame. Let's go and arrange it quickly. The two of them came out of the Great Sage Pagoda and rushed outside. Outside. The people of the Rain Clan and Spirit Sealing Star still didn't know what had happened. At this moment they were packing up and preparing to return. Because the matter here was almost over. They had seen the auction and the enemy Lin Xian was also killed. Although they also suffered some losses, overall it was still not bad. At this moment an attack suddenly came towards them. Not good. Someone is attacking us. The faces of the Rain Clan's experts changed. The Saints of Spirit Sealing Star also roared and counterattacked. They attacked crazily. At this moment they didn't hold back at all. The laws exploded in all directions. However, they were puzzled. Who was attacking them? They didn't provoke anyone on the evil demon planet. How could they know that the array was activated? Lin Xian and the dark red dragon held the old man and the evil demon child's bodies and attacked them continuously, so that the other party's attacks would land on the bodies. It's still not enough. Lin Xian said. Ruffian Zilong, let's make the energy more violent. No problem. The dark red dragon activated an even more violent array. The earth-shattering laws and energy rushed over. The people inside were also angry. Courting death. Let's kill our way out. The Rain Clan's small saint roared crazily. The small saint of Spirit Sealing Star also led people to kill their way out. Yu Shiqie and Di Ling followed closely with gloomy faces. In the next moment they finally killed their way out. However, what welcomed them was an even more violent aura. Who was attacking them? The gazes of these experts spread out from all directions. Soon they locked onto two figures in the distance and killed their way over. Two small saints rushed over and attacked crazily, sending the two figures flying. Now why did they feel so weak? They felt that the two of them couldn't resist at all. While they were puzzled, suddenly, a scream came from afar. Damn Rain Clan, you dare to kill the evil demon child? The evil demon palace will definitely not let you off. This voice directly tore through the array and spread to the 9 heavens. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.